How is everyone doing tonight? Still not used to being on StreamYard. StreamYard is normally reserved for PokeFlips, and then I do straight from OBS for my own lives, but I've been with the future plan in these weekly lives to bring on guests. I apologize, I'm coming to you solo tonight. It was a hectic day. I was actually thinking about pinging a couple different people to potentially hop in tonight, and daughter was sick, doctor, x-rays, all different kinds of things. It was Wednesday's one of my busiest days too, where I update all the listings that are due to go live tomorrow, need to be listed today on Fanatics and uploaded to the consignor spreadsheets. And then all the sales that happened the prior weeks, all the prior weeks payouts coming, had to be updated and uploaded. So if you have a consignment sheet out there in the ethos, consigning with me on Fanatics, let me start with a nice little Fanatics service pump. The vertical live stream isn't showing this. So if you're on vertical, go over to the horizontal mode and you'll see this. But massive $180,000 payout. Massive for me, not Mr. ZNG Emporium type numbers, but that's a big week. That's a big week for me and us here at Catch 'em All Collectibles to have a $180,000 payout. That's between the CGC Fanatics and the regular classic where you send an already graded card. So all those options are there. Feel free to reach out if you're interested. Yeah, x-rays. She's got like a cough. She's got things going on. She's on the nebulizer right now. I did the bedtime routine with everybody, but mommy is taking care of handling the nebulizer before bedtime. Could be something. Could be pneumonia. Could be whatever. I think x-rays is what they use to rule out or rule in pneumonia, I guess. I don't have like a massive rant here. I don't think I have much of a rant at all, aside from the fact that we're booming. I guess I'll talk about the new starter trio a little bit. Maybe I should do the YouTuber thing. Gen 10 starters. I'll pull them up. We can talk about them a little bit. But yeah, oh man, the first couple things I see, Gen 10 starters Pokemon are like all fan things are still winning the Google algorithmic battle, I guess. But yeah, BROWT, Pomban, and Gekwa, I believe. I'll pop those on screen in a minute, and then we will talk about them a little bit. Do I have a high res thing anywhere? We'll get it sorted out, maybe. But anyways, yeah, tonight I don't have a ton of commentary. The only thing is like we are booming. We are booming. I made that video. Had you listened to me 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, you would already be 4, 5, 6 weeks into your full-time job as a Pokemon reseller. Remember, I looked at the camera and I said, you, yes, you. Some of those yous are sitting here in chat as we speak. BROWT is mine. No, he's mine. I saw him first. If you quit your job, if you put your entire net worth into Pokemon, if you mortgaged the house, HELOC, maxed out their credit cards, if you literally bought pretty much everything, you would be up significantly right now. Did I tell you to do that? No, I'll never tell you to do that. Did I actually tell people to quit their jobs? No. I did tell people to consider it, though. I think you should consider what your goals are in life. I think you should consider what your current financial situation is. And I think you should consider how bullish you are on Pokemon, how bullish you are on whatever other aspects you have available to you in life. And I think you should more consciously navigate your way through life. I think a lot of people just kind of drift. A lot of people are just like day-to-day motions, and they don't really have any massive plans, any massive goals. And in a boom, you have to be very, very efficient, productive. It is very expensive to be spinning your wheels in a boom. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're doing, do it with focus. Do it with man, words are failing me. I feel like the words are right there and I just can't grab them. But anyways, let's see who we got in chat. Already tamed one enough to put one on my shoulder. Yeah, I did have the BROWT on my shoulder in the what did I title this? I thought I came up with a better pun. I shared it on Instagram. It's a BROWT to go down. It is going down right now, but it is a BROWT to go down on YouTube Live. It's weird because now I don't even have to have YouTube open. So I don't even have YouTube open to see what my own title is. What was my title? BROWT has no doubt. Yes, BROWT has no doubt. The Pokemon boom continues. Let me know in the chat too. I don't think I can do. I'm so not used to, even though I do it every other week, I'm not used to the StreamYard back end. I need to set up. I'm actually going to set up another chat. So I'm going to use the StreamYard one to go slowly and to start questions, and then I'm going to use another one to do the keeping up with live best I can. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, let me get this live chat. Let me pop out this chat. I will do this theoretically in the future to be more prepared so that I'm not doing it live with everyone watching. Okay, here we are. We have live chat now. We have the backlog chat for the highlights. We are booming. So ask me any questions, as I always do. What do I say here? Very high 7-figure reseller. My video is going to be coming soon. It might be my next video. I've done all my tax stuff business wise. I haven't yet done all my tax stuff for the personal end. The way that my accountants do it, it is S Corp stuff is due by February 15th, 1 month before the corporate deadline. All my personal stuff is due by March 15th, 1 month before the personal deadline. So I have to I've done everything that I need to do for my video on total sales and all that. I have my 2 very heavy finance videos are coming. My total sales, how they broke out, what was eBay, what was Fanatics, what was my stuff, what was consigner stuff. That video is coming very soon. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the good things if you're interested in seeing that. But yeah, let me go through highlight comments. I do see some comments. I see only 7 figures in a boom. Mr. ZNG Emporium himself. You love to see it. Knockout Cards and Repacks is a very high 7-figure yen seller. Nice to see that. Last I knew, yen was about 100 to 1. I don't think it's quite that bad right now, but yeah, high 7-figure yen. You love to see it. We got Cooley Bear in here, is a 12 figurine seller. I don't know what kind of figurines, maybe some Pokemon figurines, maybe otherwise. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have everything starred. The 8th figure will be hit, Mr. ZNG Emporium. Hopefully, I will be adding my 8th figure in the same year that you add your 9th figure. James, if you allow me, the humble fisherman, to be in the same order of magnitude as the banker himself, people will question whether I am actually a fisherman or not. So, James, please consign with ZNG Emporium today. Only if you're selling on eBay, slabs. Sealed Chiz is out there if you're doing sealed on eBay. DC Sports 87 is out there if you're doing sealed on eBay. If you are doing slabs, though, on Fanatics, I think Fanatics is a great platform too. Not quite as big as eBay, but we get some big numbers out there. We get some big numbers over on Fanatics. So if you're consigning slabs on Fanatics, Catch 'em All Collectibles, I'm your guy. If you're consigning slabs on eBay, Mr. ZNG Emporium is your guy. Get him to 100 million in sales so that I don't enter the same order of magnitude as him. I'm knocking on the door of 10 million, and James better burst through that 100 million door before I get there. And there are my rates if you do care to reach out for the Fanatics side. But yeah, let me. I'm trying to star comments on the wrong thing. James is the richest person I know now. Agreed. I think he's also the richest person that I know too. Jay's got 7 figures pesos. I don't know the conversion on pesos, but yeah, I'm frantically starring, scrolling back, and then I'm going to stay live with you guys in a second. So Missouri MTG, I can actually take raw. I can take raw for CGC Fanatics grading. It is all the details are there. If you want to DM me on Discord, if you want to reach out, Instagram, Discord, email, whatever you prefer most, I'm on all of them. Catch 'em All Collectibles. but I can consign your card. So publicly, anyone can do it. Anyone can send raw to Fanatics. They can have it graded for $10 a card, and they can subsequently sell it on auction. But what I enable you to do is multiple things. I enable you to get the weekly Catch 'em All collectibles filter. You get additional visibility to your cards instead of them going into the ethos with all the other things. They're putting the Catch 'em All collectibles filter. I grade your cards for $8.50 a card with CGC instead of $10 a card. So you grade 1,000 cards. That's an extra $1,500 right there, guaranteed, saved up front. And additionally, I front the grading fee. So if you send 1,000 cards, I'm fronting the $8,500 to grade them, and then I remove them from your auction proceeds as they sell and as they pay out. And then finally, this is not advice or anything of that nature, but it is just a statement of fact. If you consign with me, I receive the government document, the 1099-K, and you receive nothing. The consignment relationship, the consign or consignee relationship, does not require any paperwork of that nature. No 1099s generated. Not advocating for anything. I'm just describing the service and the way that it works. We got ruble sellers in here. Hey Dan, there's something wrong with your video. Ray, I see the little mobile phone portrait mode thing next to your comment. So that means Ray, you are over on the mobile version. Click over to my channel and click to the landscape one if you're watching on your TV, on your monitor, on your desktop or whatever. What color Lambo am I getting? I'm very pleased with my Kia lineup, Kia Sportage and Kia Carnival. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty set with the Kias probably for the next several years at least. We'll see. But no Lambo. I'm not a huge car guy. Time for the Bears to get the hell out of here. Oh, be proactive, flippity flip. You told us to do none of those things. I told you to deeply consider quitting your job to sell Pokemon cards full time. I mean, come on. Damn, I'm 4 to 5 weeks late. Knockout Cards and Repack says, I did it. I listened to you. We got another full timer on our hands. I'm starring more questions. Are we booming again or still? We are both booming again and still, and we're barely booming yet compared to what's coming. Dan, I'm like 2 weeks away from quitting my job for Pokemon full-time. Are we booming? Yes, we are indeed booming. We will be thrilled to have you, us over here at the full-time Pokemon gang. We will be very thrilled to have you. Yep, check your consignment sheets. They are all updated with sales and new graded cards. Is Alan Jackson a top 5 country singer of all time? Oof, that's a hard hitter for so early in a live stream. I'm so bad at ranking people. He's definitely top 5 of my childhood, top 5 for my nostalgia. That's tough to say. He's probably right around the 5th ranking. So, I think I've caught up with every question now. Yes, so I've caught every question in the backlog. I haven't put them all on screen. I started your question. Don't worry. I'm not sponsored by Kia. I just have to, and I'm a happy customer. I see a couple of people asking the same questions twice in a row because I haven't gotten to them yet. I will be live for the next 2, 3, 5 hours, however long it takes to answer every question. I will be live for that long. It is pay to play here, though. It's free to play. Like I play Pokemon Go. It's like Pokemon Go. If you want to go and you want to do a couple raids and you want to earn your 50 Pokecoins a day and you want to play for free, you're a free-to-play player. Your question will be answered eventually. You will be able to buy that remote raid pass 3-pack eventually. You might have to spend 2 weeks waiting. You might have to spend an hour and a half waiting for your question to be answered, but it will be answered for free. You will save up to those Pokecoins for free eventually. Or you can spend 99 cents and you can jump the line. You can jump the line and we do the freemium model here. Every question will be answered for free, but you can skip the line for a super chat. As always. Oh no, they finally put Dan in vertical video jail. I'm both vertical and horizontal right now, so get to your proper one. Like this video if you want to find a cure for cancer. I didn't say it. I think everyone wants to find a cure for cancer, though, so I guess we better like the video to be safe. Nobody's a Lambo guy till they're worth 8 figures. I feel like it's in the book The Millionaire Next Door. I think I think there's maybe the Lambo is not the right car to use as the example of this, but I think there's a lot of cars that people think rich people drive, but the actual majority of people driving them is people acting rich, cosplaying being rich, basically. I think I'm not a big car guy, so I can't name what that car brand was. There we go. We got Mr. Raymond. Mr. Raymond. Ray says, holy crap, I'm dumb. Now I can see the pores in your nose. Ray gifted 10 Catch 'em All Collectibles memberships. He didn't leave a message with it. He could have jumped to the front of the line with the messages, and he chose not to. And he gifted himself. Look at that guy. So I have so many. Oh man, I have so many things questioned. So many things starred. So many questions starred. I'm gonna start going to them now. Oh, that's a bad idea because the way StreamYard works, I can't see my starred comments and my live comments, though, at the same time. That's unfortunate. Can you give us an update on Newzoo 2.0? So Newzoo 2.0 Secret Shadows came out some time ago now, and I honestly have not kept up. I've not kept up since Secret Shadows dropped. They are teasing serialized cards in the play packs, and go check out MetaZoo on all their socials. I've said this before. I do co-own Meta 2, the company that bought and owned the rights to MetaZoo that licenses it to GameCubator Labs. But I have no insider information, no advanced notice on like sets that are coming or anything going on. So check out MetaZoo at all their socials because I've been bad. I genuinely don't know whatsoever like what's going on over there. Flex Decks was the product they came out with last year, and now they're coming out with like dynamic decks or something. Actually, I played a game of MetaZoo about a month or two ago now with my wife. So I've played a game. I need to be better, though. I need to get back into it. I need to catch up on all the happenings. So unfortunately, I can't give you a very thorough thing. In your CGC Fanatics service, can we send every card that CGC grades, sports, less popular TCGs, etc.? Do you only accept the big names like Pokemon and One Piece? So I have people that send sports. I have people that send Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece. I have Pokemon. I have Lorcana. I have MetaZoo. I have anything that CGC grades that is normal 2.5 by 3.5 inch rectangles. If it's jumbo, no. So I can't say anything CGC grades. CGC will grade non-standard size cards through their Florida operations. But if you send to my vault in Oregon, then you can grade anything standard size that CGC grades for $8.50 a card, and it's auctioned between 0 and 120 sale price, total sale price, with buyer's premium included. You net out the same amount you would net through Fanatics directly. I have no better rates sub 120, but aside from the $1.50 grading fee savings. And then above 120, you start saving percentage points. And at like 2,400 plus, you're saving multiple percent over what you'd pay on Fanatics yourself. Question, I sold for $100K last year on eBay. I'm trying to move away from bulk card, but it's my main revenue. I buy collection, but I feel the margins are so small when you buy 80% on selling eBay. Yeah, buying at 80% and selling on eBay, you're working at less than 10%, and it's tough, but like 5% of a really big number is still a really big number. So it all comes down to what your operation is overall. Obviously, the bigger the margins, the better, regardless of what you're doing. But eBay is kind of tough depending on what you're selling to. If you're selling one-off things, then promotions aren't really as needed. But if you're selling, it's weird. So many things I don't like about StreamYard compared to OBS. I have to turn my camera down so it's not covering my face. But yeah, there's a lot of considerations there that it's hard to cover really all of them. Buy at a lower percentage. You won't be able to buy as much. Add grading in a little bit. Increase your margins by grading the gem mint contenders if there's any. Almost Meta says, Dan, I'm switching over to my sugar mama's healthcare and taking the leap. Are we booming? We are booming. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The best time to quit your job to sell Pokemon cards full time. Maybe not 20 years ago. 5 years ago when I did it was a great time. Maybe the best time, honestly. Maybe if I could have done it 6 years ago. If I could have done it, yeah, like about 6 years ago now is when the pandemic started, right? Early March, I believe. Late February, early March. So six years ago was the best time to plant a tree, to quit your job to sell Pokemon cards full time. But the second best time is today. Yes, we are booming. BROWT has no doubt. Anyone else noticing the Black Bolt ETB scarcity creeping up? I don't really keep tabs on things like that. I don't have an extensive inventory of Black Bull ETBs. They're being ripped moderately, the packs on Fanatics. But yeah, I don't really keep up with the day-to-day things that many channels cover. Fanatics only does graded consignment, not raw, right? So for $3 a card, you can do CGC authentication. And then for $8.50 a card through me, you can do CGC grading and then auction. So again, feel free to reach out if interested. Bro was bearish and telling people to be careful the last 5 years. Now he's like, I told you so, shaking my head. I mean, I'll tell you to be careful today. I'm bullish, but be careful. Know your limits, know your budget, know your financials, know all your stuff. But like if the numbers all tell you that we're booming and you could make more money quitting your job and doing this full time than doing your job full time, maybe give it a shot. That's all I said. It's hilarious. I actually had a consult yesterday where the guy kind of started the consult and he talked about like my bearish side and he talked about how he was really bullish and he almost wanted to see the other side of it. And I'm like, I don't know how much of that you're going to get. I guess we'll see where the conversation goes, but I'm actually extremely bullish. Most of my net worth is in Pokemon cards. I quit my job 5 years ago to be full time. Like I'm bullish. BROWT has no doubt how bullish I am. We are booming. And I think depending on what you're talking about, dummies could listen to this and paint it across things that I would not paint it across. But Pokemon as a whole, my ability to do business in Pokemon, we are just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. Hey, Dan, do you think the market cycle this year will mimic what happened last year? Also, how do you feel about the graded vintage boom? Feels similar to what happened at the beginning of the pandemic. The graded vintage boom, one note that I did have written down for my live tonight was pop doesn't matter. Demand is the only thing that matters. What a dumb take that always was. And don't say, Dan's only saying it now. Brad's going to, and before Brad says, Dan's only saying the pop doesn't matter crowd is dumb because the pop is mattering right now. I've always said, I have bad takes from years ago where I picked a PSA 9 first edition Neo Discovery Umbreon over a PSA 10 Moonbreon. And I picked that then. I picked that today for 5 years from now. I picked that 5 years from now for 50 years from now. I think a lot of the ultra modern pops of cards are going to age quite poorly. I've been wrong so far, but like it's been only a few years. It's only been a little bit. The markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. I think there's a lot of ultra modern cards, a lot of 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 pop cards. They're booming today. Yes, I know the Charizard 151 SIR up from 1,000 to 1,500 and the Gray Felt Hat and all these cards like surging and booming. And I don't think they're going to age super well relative to the more grails, relative to the older, rarer, minter better, the SM Pradism. 151 craziness and Yu-Gi-Oh! Not dead. Yes, 151 is over like 23 a pack now. Appreciate you again, Ray, for the 10 gifted. Question, I've seen a lot of videos about folks taking profits. I know that would be intelligent, but I just think it would bite me in the butt in 10 years' time. Sealed and slabs alike. Thoughts? It all comes down to your time horizon. It all comes down to your net worth. It all comes down to your cash flow. It all comes down to so many things. If you're worth $10 million and you have $1 million in Pokemon, do I think you should panic sell everything because it might go down? And no, you'll probably be fine. Like if you don't need the money, but if you're paycheck to paycheck and you're barely like scrounging up the dough to like, you need to check your bank account balance to make sure when you go buy groceries on your debit card, you're not like getting an overdraft fee. If you're barely thinking how you're going to make rent well, I guess we just had the first. If you're overdue from rent for 3 days ago and you're like, and you've got a card that you bought 10 years ago for $50 that's now worth $10,000, you should give it more. I'm not going to tell you to sell it. I'm not going to tell you should or you have to or anything, but you should give it serious consideration. If it's life-changing money or potentially life-changing money, what's going to hurt more? Potentially selling and having it double again, or potentially not selling, paying credit card interest, paying all this and that, getting evicted from your apartment, your wife leaves you, takes the kids. Like, what are we talking about here? Everyone's situations are so different. So I cannot just universally say everyone should sell everything. No, I'm actually buying a couple things. Collector Boy Dan is back. I think we are booming. I think the boom has some legs to go. And when I say that, some people are going to hear we're booming and we have some time to go. Some people are going to hear that and they're going to apply it to the dumbest card to apply it to. They're going to go out and they're going to buy a $500 XY Evolutions PSA 10 energy card. Dan said the boom had room to go, and it's 2 years later. My card was at an all-time high and it's down 50% now. Curse you, Dan. That's the issue. That's the issue with being so broad and being so binary and being so black and white. Every card is different. Every person is different. For some people, and people can't wrap their minds around this, but some people were served better selling $120 Evolving Skies a couple years ago. Some people made more money than that. So some people took that money and invested into a company that they started. Some people took that money and they invested it into certain low pop gold stars or whatever, and they outperformed that. It's everyone's situation is different. Everyone's situation is entirely different. Like a hockey player in the playoffs, are you keeping the beard until the boom is over? I'm gonna keep the beard until the weather's warm. It was 50 degrees today in upstate New York, so I didn't shave it off yet, but it is not going to last till like July. So hopefully the boom does last till July, but my beard will not. Definitely not. What are some tips you can provide on staying on track doing full-time Pokemon? I would really relate to you, as we both have 2 kids and wifey that works still. When the kids are at school and the wife's at work, grind. Max efficiency when they're working, because this job like doesn't end. You need to put firm boundaries on when you're going to work, when and where and how and all that stuff. Yeah, I would definitely say like try to be particular about what is work time, what is family time. I'm not amazing. I'm not perfect at it by any stretch of the imagination, but other than that, I have like a loose weekly schedule, certain tasks that I have to do each day, and just to keep me on track. It all depends what you're doing though. So again, that's like a much more personalized thing if I knew exactly what you're doing. Yeah, this is not working as well as I hoped it would. The way StreamYard works, I wonder if I can open up a second StreamYard, and then I need one scrolling live chat, and I need one chat that just stays. But the way StreamYard works with the chat and then the starred chat, I'm gonna double enter the studio. That might be risky. Yes, I can hear myself. Can you guys still hear me? Oh no. Keep it like this. I don't think there's a way I can do this really, because I'm hearing my own echo. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Maybe it's gonna work. Can you guys hear me or no? Brad says still no audio, but I think I have audio. So I re-entered. I'm in my StreamYard backend twice, so that I can both star and see a live chat at the same time. I'm trying to figure out how to do StreamYard where I can highlight comments and I can simultaneously not lose my thing. Millionaire Next Door is a fantastic finance book. So what's up, Dan? Pokey Plumber sent me here. Just hanging out in a boom. Glad to hear Nick sent you here. Dan, buy my old Metazu cards. Give you a great deal. My DMs are open. My email's open. Feel free to reach out. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to star a bunch more questions. Brad says, I can't hear you, Dan. Unmute. Thanks, Brad. Maybe he'll finally leave. So I'm going to scroll. I'm going to highlight a bunch more questions. And then I'm going to go back to where I can actually see Shaking my head, Dan the flip flopper. Next, he will be checking pizza tracker like a fiend. Never a pizza tracker. Burn tower update. I still have the burn tower. The burn tower is I don't even know what the burn tower is worth right now. I'm assuming it is likely to head up, which is why I bought it, but I don't know that it's actually started yet. Take the kids. That frees up so much capital to put into Mega Dream. Win-win. PSA 9 base Charizard is only 3K. We ain't booming till that thing 10K plus. Yes, I sold mine for $6,000 or $7,000, $8,000 last boom. So we are not yet booming as much as we can be. How's it going? Crystal collects. Muted yourself. This is perfect. Only 2 kids. How are you going to have a self-sustaining family business? You need at least 4 kids to manage everything full-time while you travel the world drinking cocktails in retirement. 2 is plenty. I don't want to be outnumbered. 2 is plenty for me. I was one of 2. My wife was one of 2. We always both wanted 2, and we got one of each, a boy and a girl. So we are done there. Done. Scrolling through the audio issues. Okay. So anyone who has any questions, continue leaving them. I have 7 questions that are starred right now, and I will continue taking those, and I will also continue to keep an eye on the live chat in case something relevant and timely comes up to take it. So question, I'm debating on selling off my entire collection to pay my house off. However, I'm scared of a few things being regret, taxes, items being lost, etc. Any advice? So advice number 1, and this is a huge one that you covered. So depending on your tax situation, collectibles are taxed at a rate of like 28%, depending on your accountant, depending on how they want to handle it. Long-term capital gains for things like stock holding is like 15%, depending on your tax bracket. For some people, long-term capital gains is even 0% if you're at the really low tax brackets. So consult with an accountant, consult with a professional, but know what your tax rate is going to be. Say you have $1 million in Pokemon cards that you want to sell to pay off your mortgage. If your mortgage has $1 million balance on it, you have to sell more than $1 million. If your marginal rate is 40%, you need to sell $1.6 million, $1.7 million in cards to be able to have enough money after your 40% haircut to pay off that $1 million balance. So using my number specifically, I bought the house in November of 19. I closed November of 20, I believe. Yes, November of 20 is when I paid it off because I went full-time in July of 2021. So I paid off my house in November or December of 2020, and I had an outstanding balance of around $150,000. My principal balance was like $160 when I started. It was a 15-year mortgage. I was 1 year into paying it off, and I had an outstanding balance of about $150,000. To pay off $150,000, I had to actually sell over $200,000 worth of stuff and $200,000 worth of net profit. So again, it depends on your basis. If your basis in $1 million worth of cards is $900,000, well, you can sell $1 million worth of cards. Your net taxable profit is only the $100,000, and your taxes might be $40,000 on the $100,000, right? But if you have $1 million worth of cards, and I used $1 million as a random number, right? If your $1 million worth of cards has a basis of $100,000, your net profit is $900,000. You might be owing 40% of $900,000, or capped by the collectible long-term capital gains tax rate of 28%. So there's a lot of moving parts there. Know what's going to come up. Don't have a big surprise. Don't have a big surprise that is unwanted when you did not properly tax plan for that big event. But I decided, I knew at the time that paying off my house early would financially, mathematically, in most historical instances, underperform just putting it into Roth IRAs, putting it into 401ks. Hell, if I had put it into Pokemon of any kind, Pokemon sealed, if I had put it in the right things, I knew it was likely going to underperform. But personal finance is personal. I'm a guy who hates banks. I hate debt. Mind you, I have a $250,000 Chase business line of credit that I recently got out because we're booming. But I hate debt with a passion. I don't like risk. I avoid it at all costs. The cost of future financial, potentially higher higher net worth, basically. I consciously made the decision that I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go against the math, and I'm going to pay off my house early. It was right for me. If I could go back, I would do it again. Hindsight, it cost me more than I expected it would have cost me. Looking at the numbers in the S&P 500 and in the Pokemon markets, all of it. But very personal decision. I can't make it for you. One thing that I've been saying for the past year that I will say for the duration of this current iteration of the boom, almost everything is going to cool off 10, 20, 30, 40%. Some things will cool off 50, 60, 80%. I guarantee at some point in the next several years, there will be, not everything, but many things will drop 10, 20, 30% across the board. And then some of the worst offenders will drop 50 to 80%. I'm as confident as I can be in that. It happened last time. It happened the time before that. It happened the time before that. It's always happened. $300 booster boxes going to $100. $8,000 slabs going to $1,000. $1,000 slabs going to $100, $150. That happened before. But the big thing I can't tell you, and no one can tell you, is where's the top. We might 5x between now and the top. So take a card that's at $1,000 today. I'm pretty confident that at some point in the future, there will be $1,000 cards that drop 80% to $200, that drop 50% to $500. But what if today's $1,000 card first visits $10,000 and then drops 50%? Now your $1,000 card 10x's in halves, which is a net 5x. So it's like, I'm confident a lot of things will drop 10, 20, 50% or more. I just don't know when. And one thing that's kind of a meme, but it's also kind of like true, is when you buy an item for 10 grand, the worst thing that can happen, this is insane and dangerous to say in a boom like this, the worst thing that can happen is you lose 10 grand. The worst thing that can happen is you lose everything, as long as you're buying it with your money, not on margin, not on leverage, whatever. The best thing that can happen, there are cards that were $10,000 10 years ago that are hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Your upside is theoretically infinite, right? Your upside is uncapped. Your downside is known and capped. That said, it's like, know your risk tolerance. Know your downside. Not just your downside in percentages. Percentages are one thing. If you're worth, and this is actually something that I said in my consult the other day too. Take your net worth today. What are your life goals? Money is a tool. What are you trying to do with the tool of money in your life? Where's my thing? Have smart goals. Have specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based goals. I frankly, I don't care to be a billionaire someday. I am not doing things in my day-to-day life that increase the likelihood of me becoming a billionaire. One thing that I'm very interested in doing is having financial independence as soon as possible and with highest degree of certainty as possible. I want to have 4% rule 25 plus times my annual living expenses. I want to have that in very, very high margin of safety type accounts. And the way that I'm choosing to get there is I'm filling my buckets, tax advantage, 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, all that good stuff for like my underlying foundation. 50 years from now, I'm as confident as I can be, 99+%, that the S&P 500 will do what that's done over the past 50, 100 years. Pokemon, I'm more bullish on Pokemon 2, 5, 10 years, 15 years maybe, 20 years, 50 years. Who the hell knows? I know that I don't know. But once my buckets are filled, once my like foundation is built, once the footers are poured and we're working on building the blocks of the foundation, once all that's done, I YOLO the rest of it. So frankly, like I have hundreds of thousands of dollars doing fairly high risk things right now. I said it since the new year. I said around late 2025, early 2026, I was making some bullish plays on sealed and slabs, certain slabs going up. And I had multiple six figures of additional slabs that I bought with intent to just carry them to the 30th anniversary. And I've been handsomely rewarded. But my downside was 100%. And then some of that stuff doubled, tripled. Some of that stuff probably, some of the individual cards, I did lose 10, 15, 20%. But like, know your risks, know what you're doing. And one thing I told the guy in the console is like, are you trying to become a decamillionaire here? Are you trying to become a centimillionaire here? No, the S&P 500 is not going to turn you into a billionaire. So if you want to be a billionaire someday, you can't just do the 401k and the IRA match. You need to take outsized risks. You need to create a company. You need to 10x, 20x within certain years, numbers of 5-figure and 6-figure quantities. But me personally, I have no aspirations to become a billionaire. I frankly have no aspirations to become a centimillionaire. I might accidentally become a decamillionaire. As crazy as that sounds, Pokemon might bless me to the extent of bringing me into centimillionaire status. But what I really want is just I want to have fun. I want to have a good, productive job that helps other people and all the other people that I help enable, all the independent contractors I help enable, all the other businesses I help enable through the consignments, through the CGC Fanatics. I want to just help all of us up and towards our goals. My kids and my wife are at school anyways for the next 10 years. So I'm doing this because it's fun. I'm good at it. It's very lucrative. And if and when Pokemon drops 90%, which it could, if Pokemon drops 90% and more than half of my net worth goes down 90%, I am still on pace to be financially independent in the next 5 years, just from my buckets, just from my 4% rule, financial independence, retire optional. There's so many different acronyms for like the fire independence thing, but I don't plan on retiring early. So because my goal is to like be as concretely financially independent as possible, I can't do that with 100% Pokemon. I would not be able to sleep at night if I was 100% Pokemon, because I know there's downside scenarios where it doesn't go to zero, but it goes down very far, very fast. And I'm just having to go back to work or something. And that's unacceptable. One main goal, I'm never going back to corporate America. Another main goal is financial independence as soon as possible. And I don't need a 90% success rate. I need a 99% success rate in all, like I'm doing a simulation in my head. I'm simulating it with AI and I'm forecasting out everything. The Trinity study. I need a functionally 100% success rate over all outcomes, all scenarios over the next 50 years. It is unacceptable to lose everything. So I'm not going all in on anything. That's and it's very personal. There's a mathematically correct decision to have made with hindsight, but we'll never have hindsight. Place your bets and then go from there. What is CGC more lenient on for grading, nick centering, trying to decide which ones to send that I know what get a PSA 10 in the hope of CGC 10? They're way more lenient on surface. A tiny little surface imperfection will create a PSA 6 or PSA 5. CGC, you can get like 8s, 8.5 with things that would turn a PSA into a 6. Dan, you were selling into the last boom. What are some selling lessons you took away from the first COVID boom that you are now utilizing during this boom? Always be selling, always be buying. Sell what you think is going to go down. Sell what you value less in the market. Buy what you value more in the market. I very publicly recently bought Burn Tower PSA 10. It is down 50% of what I sold it at 5 years ago during the last boom. That blows my mind. I recently bought 2 Pikachu trophy cards that are 50% down from the last boom. I think that's insane. The true rarity of them, the high condition of them, older, rarer, minter, better, all that stuff. But that doesn't mean they're going to go up. That's my speculations. That's my gambles to some extent. And but similar to last boom, I'm maxing out all my tax advantage buckets. So that's some things that are the same. Question: when the pallets reach their maturity date, will you paper hand everything and crash the modern Pokemon market? 1, I don't have nearly enough to crash the modern Pokemon market. 2, I think what I'll do is I'll take half of pallet 1 and sell it, and half of pallet 2 and sell it. I'll Frankenstein pallet 1 and pallet 2 together, set them back again for 5 or 10 years, and then I'll use the proceeds from selling half of pallet 1 and half of pallet 2 to create pallets 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And maybe I'll just keep it as a closed loop and put no new money in at that point. But also, if it's lucrative, if it's going well, maybe I'll continue injecting money. I don't know. I'm not doing amazingly at keeping up with live chat and answering my questions. Dan, how viable do you think pre-grading services with grading notes are in today's world? Are there any websites / companies you know of that offer such a fine service at great rates? Pika funny you asked that question. So I have a nice friend, Pika over at Gem Inspector LLC. He will, so my CGC Fanatics thing, if you're unsure of the service, if you're unsure how to do it, if you've never graded with CGC and you want to know like what's up, Pika is an experienced grader for several years with the different grading card companies and a lot of different types of cards. So yeah, hit him up on Instagram, Gem Inspector LLC. I believe he does, if you do, like my minimum is 50, my maximum is 100. If you do 50 to 100 cards, they can be funneled through my service through him basically. He'll pre-grade it, he'll give you an idea of what he thinks they're going to get. And instead of $8.50 a card, you're paying $9.50 a card. You're getting grader's notes, you're getting that advanced like step between. And then on top of that, like say something comes up that you didn't expect. Say he might suggest, oh, hey, this one's got a massive thing that you must have missed. I wouldn't recommend grading that. Yeah, so go check out Pika go check out Gem Inspector LLC. In your experience, on average, how hard is it to move CGC slabs compared to PSA? PSA wait times are insane right now. It is just as easy because my main model is live stream auctions or Fanatics Collect auctions. So I have nearly 100% success rate moving all my CGC slabs within 10 days because I click send to auction, they auction and they sell and I get the money. So I say nearly 100% because I sell thousands of cards a week. And sometimes there's like a CGC 3.5 whatever that doesn't even get a $5 bid on it. So I can't claim 100% sell-through rate, but it's very nearly 100%. Dan, how many more years until you can go head-to-head in both knowledge and capital with Rusty? I think I'm in a situation where like I'll always just be X amount behind Rusty because he was here earlier and he's doing things bigger and that's just compounding over time. So similar to Rusty though, I think I don't want to speak for him, but I don't believe he's working 100-hour weeks. As I said, different time put Dan in this market. 20-year-old bachelor Dan, I would be working 100-hour weeks. Having what I have now, though, foot off the gas a little bit more time with family, go to the water park and a boom. Rusty is very like family first, and he's very family oriented. And I think I think if he wanted to, he probably could double his work hours. I don't know if he's working 50, 60 hours a week, but he could probably work twice as much as he is and get to a way higher net worth. But like money isn't everything. And Rusty has enough by many metrics. I am very nearly having enough by many metrics. So we're both in a situation where to some extent we're taking our foot off the gas, right? But yeah, let me back to the live chat. Continuing on. This is kind of failing me the way that I'm doing this. Consult with old school Pokemon when it comes to paying taxes. You will not pay much. Evening, Dan. You're looking remarkably groomed tonight. What are your thoughts on OSRS sailing? I am a level 1 0 XP sailor. We are booming. It would cost me hundreds of dollars an hour to go play old school RuneScape in this market. I am not playing old school RuneScape. I'm a little nervous. If the boom keeps booming the way it is, I might have to skip the next league because like there's 3 things that I can take time from to play RuneScape. I can take time from my family, and I'm not going to do that. There are some times where last leagues that I played, I would play it like with my son. He'd be watching me and he'd be really like, he'd watch me do Theater of Blood and he'd watch me do some of the raids and he loved it. So I will play it some with my kids, like to the extent that I can engage with it, engage with them with it. So I can take time from my family or I can take time from my sleep. I will forfeit some amount of sleep to play RuneScape potentially, or I can take money or take time from my business. And taking time from the business is at such a high rate. I'm already like minimizing my hours a decent rate. So to take too much more time away from that would be extremely costly. So I'm in a very good position that I have so many good things to do in every day that I can't find time to justify a video game. But April 15th, I really wanna get on. I really want to play the league. We'll see what happens though. Undecided between BROWT and Gekwa for my first playthrough. Yeah, Quaxley's my boy, but do not evolve Quaxley. I hope they do better with the BROWT evolutions, but and I don't. Same reason I'm not playing RuneScape right now is we're booming. I'm not playing any of the. I buy every game as they come out. I have every Pokemon game, and I haven't played the vast majority of them. Someday I will likely. I'm thinking of parting ways with my CGC 10 WotC Blackstar promo set. It's the first and only complete set. Would you sell each card individually, or would you ask for a premium on the set? 99% of the time, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. So the issue you run into, it's like a funnel. So when you try to sell a complete CGC 10 Blackstar promo set, you need somebody that has all the capital at once. You need somebody who wants all the cards at once. Most people that want all CGC 10 Blackstar promos, they already have some. So they either need to be willing to buy duplicates and sell off the duplicates, or they'll just pass. If you sell individually, you hit people who want the whole set. You hit people who want the whole set that have half the set already. You hit people who just want each individual card. So 99% of the time, you are better off auctioning each individually. That is what I would do 100% of the time. Like, there is no situation that I've ever been convinced that, like, yeah, I would go for the sequential certs and blah, blah, blah. Like, in this market, I would just auction and I would move on from them and then put my capital where I think it's better off. Let's see. Nate Dogg said, I hit on the Walmart drop tonight. Congrats. Yeah, I paid off my mortgage 5 years ago, before I went full-time Pokemon. Ouch. No, I mean, hindsight, yes, I could have taken that money and put it elsewhere and made more money. I could also be a billionaire if I put the right amount of money at the right time in the Bitcoin. I could be a deca millionaire had I put the right amount of money in the right time in the right Pokemon cards. But I'm fine with this reality. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to chase every dollar. I'm very happy with where I'm at. Infinite upside. That's more like it. I'm all in. I can only lose 100%. Good God, I'm in. We are booming. What's up, Poke people? We are hanging out. Dan said we had infinite upside. Everyone load up. If you have enough to sell to pay off your house, I think you're better off with the house. Owning a house is better, especially if it's a house you actually want to own and live in. Yeah, again, everyone's situation is very different. I paid off my, like, if it would have been all my money to pay off my house, barely, and then I would have had no capital, no cash flow for continuing operations on my business, I would not have done it. I would not have thought about it. The large portion why I paid off my house, I had 7 figures of Pokemon, and I only owed 150 grand on my house. I sold a fraction of everything, and I paid off my house with that little bit. And I wasn't like handicapped for my business. I was liquid, and I had enough capital to keep playing and all that stuff. Don't tell me how much I lost on the Black Label Latios and Latias alt. I don't need to know. I know that a PSA 10 is worth about what your Black Label sold for back then. But hopefully, again, the hope is that you roll that into bigger and better things. And yeah, like I've sold so many cards too early. I sold so many cards too early. And people, they remember the thing they sold too early that doubled at 10x later, but they forget about what they bought with it. They forget about what went up. They forget about what they sold at the perfect time. The amount of cards that I sold at the perfect time is actually kind of crazy. I sold so many $6,000 PSA 9 base unlimited Charizards. I sold a $30,000 PSA 9 unlimited Shadowless Hollow set. I sold a $100,000 Pikachu trophy card. I sold a $70,000 number 2, $50,000 number 3, and $40,000 number 4. You're not gonna hit them all perfectly. You're not gonna time all the tops and the bottoms perfectly. Impossible at scale. Hello, I like to watch and collect Pokemon cards. You are in a good spot. More the business side, but I also do collect too. Let's see. Yes, tax avoidance. Very good business. Dan, would you say personal finance is personal? Yes. Wait, we have to pay taxes on selling slabs? Oh, no. How are there enough humans on Earth to support this market? I mean, there are 7 or 8 billion humans on the planet, And a high pop card is only 100,000 cards. Until we see a pop of 1 billion cards, I think we are still early, personally. And people call me a bear. Most people can't just drop 10K plus on Pokemon right now, but if you had to last 5K throughout this year, how would you spend it and what? Sword Shield. I would buy Sword Shield at 85%, like I have been recently. You seem to know a good amount of finance, but why would you sell your assets if you can borrow against it? I just generally dislike leverage. I'm doing well, and increasing the risk can increase the upside, but it also increases the downside. So leverage inherently, it increases your what's the right word I'm looking for here? What's like the volatility? Beta, is that the one I'm looking for? Yeah. So basically, like my I want to reduce my beta. I want to minimize. I want to put a solid concrete floor in at financial independence. So the way that I'm framing, structuring all my finances, structuring and framing my business, everything that I'm doing is set out with the goal, the smart goal of being financially independent immediately. Functionally, I'm there. I'm functionally there. They're just not all in the right accounts yet. I just need to move some things around. But my goal is to have 100% certainty that I will never lose and that I can only win. And that is why I go so heavy on things like the S&P 500. That is why I go so heavy on tax advantage accounts. Sure, Pokemon increases my upside potential. That's why I have over half my net worth in Pokemon. But it also increases the downside too. And falling below financial independence is unacceptable. I do not accept that outcome. I reject it wholly, and I'm doing things to prevent it ever happening, if that makes sense. Nice to see you, DJ. How's it going? If you have 5,000 and we're just starting out as an investor for Pokemon, what are you buying? Frankly, people might not like to hear this. I probably wouldn't start investing in Pokemon if I only had $5,000 to invest in Pokemon. But that said, everything I have, I last year, between all accounts, between everything, counting consigners cards, I sold about $8 million in Pokemon cards last year. Everything I've done, everything I have started with $5,000. So you know what I would invest that $5,000 in? Not Evolving Skies, not 151, not Crown Zenith, not Ascended Heroes. I would invest it in myself. Oh no, groans. I can hear the groans through the screen. He said the cheesy, corny thing. That's what I did. That's what I did 12 years ago. Everything I have today, millions and millions of dollars worth of everything I have is from $5,000 12 years ago. So what would I do? I would do exactly what I did. It worked out very well. Do I think that's replicable? Yes. Yes. I think someone starting with $5,000 today and hustling, I think they can replicate what I did 5 times faster. The right person with the right knowledge and experience, the right person ready to learn, ready to grind, I think you could turn $5,000 into $1 million in a couple of years with all your time, with all your sweat equity. The opportunities are out there. We are booming. I say we're booming. I tell people to quit their jobs. They don't understand what I'm talking about. And they, like, parking $5,000 in a box and waiting, sitting. You're going to sit back and wait. You're going to sit back and invest in this market with infinite liquidity everywhere, functionally infinite liquidity everywhere. We don't invest in this market. I mean, I am to some extent, disclaimer. But no, flip, grind. Depending on your situation. If you're a doctor making $500,000 a year, turn the $5,000 into $50,000. Turn the $5,000 into $500,000. Let's go, baby. Invest in the right things. Everyone's situation is so different. Question, what's up, Dan? What do you think of grading with tag versus CGC? I do grade thousands a month with CGC. I grade 0 a month with tag. Tag is consistently inconsistent. They just claim to not be. They all claim to not be consistently inconsistent, but they all are. The robots don't have it perfected yet. The robots are trained by very fallible humans. And there's so many videos out there. Go check out Java. Java's made videos before cracking out regrading. They don't fingerprint the cards. They can't tell if you submit the same card. But if they made me money, I'd grade with them. They don't make me money, so I don't grade with them. Last time I graded with Tag, I consigned them all with Voldemort, and that's the nickname we use for people outside of the loop on that one. Snipe, I'm not even going to say his actual name. This guy, Rick, that made a platform. He stole all your, well, he leaked all your private information, blah, blah, blah. Scorned, definitely scorned by that one. But I call him Voldemort anyways. One of the biggest consignment services on eBay that I'll never use, that I'll never tell people to use. I sent like 10 tag cards to Voldemort, and there were some of them that took like 5 relists to get paid. Someone was shilling them. I was not shilling them. Maybe it was Voldemort himself. But it wasn't just him, because I've sent a bunch of PSA and CGC and BGS slabs to him too, and nothing got unpaid and relisted as many times as my tag slabs. I don't know who it was. I'm not making claims on who was doing it. I have ideas to some extent, but no. So they don't make me money, so I don't work with them. CGC, PSA, they make me money, so I work with them. Jay Flint is playing RuneScape now. Yes, Grimer, we are booming. Grimer just 12-second sudden death and SP on VMAX alt. Yes, we are booming. You love to see it. So I got a message earlier from my I just got a message now. I got a message earlier from one of my old coworkers, and he messaged me and he said, hey, that guy you have on eBay, he is crushing it. Like he said something about like, oh man, Pokemon's booming again. Like it's great to see how well you're crushing. He kind of like follows along a little bit the business. But I asked him which one. I said there's 3 of them now, and there's a 4th one coming soon. And he said it was Grimer. He was live on there now. It was earlier tonight. Grimer was live. My old coworker hopped in and saw Grimer. He's like, yeah, this guy's great. So go check out Grimer. Go check out Spat. Go check out Beerski. Go check out Ponga. Go check out PK, Fanatics, eBay, all the places. Where should a new buyer with 20K start? A new buyer with 20K should start by sitting down and figuring out some smart goals. Are you collecting? Are you investing? Are you speculating? Are you scalping? Are you flipping? What are you doing? You should not go spend 20K without knowing what you're doing. You should have some, and any of it's fine. Any of it's fine. I started out largely collecting, and I just wanted to collect the cheapest way possible. $5,000 at the time that I started 12 years ago wasn't like nothing to me. It was meaningful to some extent. My net worth was maybe 50 grand or something at that time. So 5 grand was like 10% of my net worth. And I'm like, I'm going to put this into Pokemon because I like it. And I think it's going to go up over time. And I was collecting, investing, speculating. And I didn't want to have to pay $1,000 for a card, because then it's like I could only buy 5 $1,000 cards and then I'm done. I had free time. I had spare time. I didn't have a wife yet. I was living with my current wife. So she was girlfriend at the time that I got into Pokemon, was living with her, got engaged, got married. But at the time, yeah, we weren't married yet. And so 5 grand was a lot. And I had a lot of time though. And I would work 30, 40 hours a week on Pokemon on the side of my 40-hour a week engineering job. And I snowballed that all into growing my collection. And I had very fixed, finite goals of what I wanted, and then I accomplished them, and my goals expanded. And next thing you know, I wake up, we're in a boom, and I'm full-time Pokemon, and I have 6 independent contractors that I'm 1099ing. Yeah, we're booming. We're booming. New to the hobby, I won a card and get to choose between 2 cards, but can't decide on which one, as I really like both. First is a Mega Gardevoir EX 159, and the other Flareon EX number 14. Thoughts? I have no idea which of those cards you like more. I would probably pick the Flareon because I like Flareon more. But as far as which one do you like more, no clue. Dom Money, first time listening to you. Appreciate you being so open. Appreciate the appreciation. I'm young. I'm dumping everything into a house as soon as I make enough. Seems safer. Watch every Dan vid. Oh, no. Someone said on stream that they cashed out their 401k for a base 2 PSA 10. Zardy, funny. That's probably plus EV. Should I still be buying low pop sub 500 PSA 10s or wait? I bet you there are sub 500 pop PSA 10s that will not go down. That will not go down in the next 5 years. There are probably some sub 500 PSA 10s that are going to lose 50%. Will they lose 50% only after they double again? I have no clue. Card by card, case by case, blah, blah, blah. All the same things. Can you elaborate on choosing Pokemon over brokerage investments? Most of us don't have the B2B relationships you have. Would you still invest short term if you can't quickly flip? So the vast majority, this is one thing that I think people can't fully comprehend. So if I sell on eBay, I sell with DC Sports. I sell with Z&G Emporium. I haven't sold with James in quite a while because most of my slabs go to Fanatics. But if I sell on eBay, I send to Sealed Shiz Consignments. Just today, I sent packages to Sealed Shiz Consignments, DC Sports 87, and Golden. Golden, I do have slightly better rates than most people can probably replicate. But if you want to sell your slabs on eBay, sure, James himself can sell for cheaper than he'll charge you. He's making money when you sell through him, right? Very fair. I make money when you sell through me on Fanatics. But I promise you, to get these rates yourself, you have to sell millions of dollars a year with Fanatics. I'm doing that for you. I have the best dealer rate. The rates that I give to sell on my Fanatics are the second best rates you can get. The only way to replicate these is to have a relationship with Fanatics for years and sell millions in Pokemon. What James is offering to you on eBay, the only way to get the rates that James is offering direct to you, if you send one card to James, you get the same rates as businesses that have sold on eBay for 10 years and have sold tens of millions of dollars worth of stuff, selling millions of dollars a year. You shortcut your way to the best rates. I'm grading, me and my consigners combined, we are grading 10,000 plus cards a month. And $850 a card, you are shortcutting your way to a rate that you can't get yourself unless you have a years-long relationship with Fanatics, selling millions of dollars a year, grading 10,000 plus cards a month, thousands of cards a week. So it's the opportunity is right there. Consigners by design are opening you up to what used to take years to build. So you're able to skip the line. 12 years ago when I started, that was not a thing. You could not consign anything for 95%. This is crazy. People are, and this will not be forever. I'm going to say it now. I hope it doesn't come soon. Someday, and I could be wrong here, I bet, I would have to bet that this number goes down before it ever goes up. The likelihood that I'll ever net you out more than 95% on a total sell price on items above 2,400, I'm not optimistic on that. Platforms generally raise their fees over time. Honestly, I believe James nets out 93% above 1,000, and then I net out 95% above 2,400. He's a little bit higher, 3,000. He starts netting out 95%. So we're right in the same vicinity. I bet, and I could be wrong here. James, please prove me wrong. I bet James starts netting out less someday before he starts netting out more. It is absurd how much money you can get from your swiping a credit card is 3%. Fanatics takes credit card. eBay takes credit card. And you're netting out 95%. What are we doing here? So I choose Pokemon over brokerage because I have advantages in Pokemon. In brokerage accounts, and to be fair, in S&P 500. So how my buckets work, why I did talk about UCAM. I talked about Golden for a second there. But yeah, nice to see you in here, Cam. But yeah, I did mention Golden there. I shipped to you this week. I shipped to you today. So Cam's gonna love this one. The buckets are going up. So I do the 401k and the IRA and the tax advantage stuff because if I profit 50 grand, say I make 50 grand of net profit, if I take that if I take that into my household as cash in my bank account, that costs me so much money. It costs me so much money to profit 50 grand and then spend. So if I want to invest in a brokerage account, my marginal rate, all the things added on, self-employment income, all this stuff, I'm paying almost 50%. So if I take 50 grand out of the business to invest into a brokerage account, I'm only investing 25 grand. I can take 50 grand instead 401ks and IRAs and invest the full 50 grand. So the way savings into a tax advantage account is, you save on the front end, top down, top marginal rate down. I'm saving at functionally 50% in New York State at the highest rate. And then you spend bottom up. So 50 years from now, when I'm taking the money out of my IRA, I'm only taking out 100 grand that year, and I'm only spending at the 18% marginal rate or whatever it is. So you save top down, you spend bottom up. It's a massive cheat code, and it's staring everyone in the face, and so many people don't use it. But the brokerage account, if I take 50 grand out, I only got 25K left to invest. So I keep more of it in Pokemon. Big thing about a brokerage account too. If I want to buy SP500, if I want to buy VU, I have to buy VU at 100.01% of market. I have to sell VU at 99.99% of market. I can buy Pokemon at 85% of market. I can sell Pokemon at 100, 105, 110% of market sometimes. So I have built-in advantages that I lean into. Lean into all your advantages. Identify, strengthen, build a moat around your business, build a moat around your advantages, and leverage them. Lean into them hard. That's what I do. One advantage that I have, I can go live. I can click a button on my computer. I can yell at the camera, and 175 people will be in here listening to me yell. And they'll click my affiliate links below. They'll sign up for Fanatics. They'll consign with me. And I create win-wins. I make it hard to not consign with me. How do you not send cards for $850? They take a month to grade. So just earlier today, I listed 3,000 cards for Fanatics auction that were graded in 1 month, 4 weeks, $8.50 a card. DM me. So if you go on my Instagram, if you go on my website, you won't find the CGC 850 Fanatics grading option. You have to DM me. I only talk about it in live streams. I don't want it to get too inundated, but that's insane. It's insane that that's an opportunity. That opportunity didn't exist 12 years ago. Send in raw cards. You don't even need card savers. Send in raw cards and penny sleeves. No list, no nothing. Send me a quantity of cards and a tracking number. I send you a submission number. You send it to my vault. I front the grading fees, and you just get money. 4 weeks later, they're graded. They're in the vault. They're listed for a 10-day auction. 6 weeks later, from when you sent raw cards in, you're getting dollars. You're getting money. You want Zelle? Boom. No 1099. You want PayPal friends and family? Boom. No fees, no 1099. Claim your gains, pay taxes, blah, blah, blah. But I don't 1099 you. We are booming. We are booming. It's crazy. Dan's advantage is being tall. He can reach upper cabinets. Yes, I take advantage of that as well. Would you hold Japanese sealed product for the long term? I do hold some. I have a little bit of Japanese 151 that I bought for like $50 a box that I'm doing pretty well on. Overall, I'm doing well on it. Short term, last 6 months to a year, it's not doing that much. I'm new here. What's your favorite legendary Pokemon? I'm a big Gen 1 guy. Mewtwo, probably the most basic answer. Mewtwo. Then in order for the legendary birds, for me, it's Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres is my order. Are you a card vendor at a booth? I do not vend. I'm the main guy behind Catch 'em All Collectibles. I have 6 independent contractors that do a lot of work for me. And then I have some different people that I do different business relationships with as well. I run consignments. I buy a lot of stuff that gets sold on live streams. And I help enable building my business alongside and bringing each other up with all the homies, with all the independent contractors. Shout out to the independent contractors over on Fanatics primarily. We've got PK and Ponga. Over on eBay primarily, we've got Spat, Grimer. More of a go-between. He's on Fanatics quite a bit for instant rips. Is Bierski. He's primary on eBay Live, but then he's on Fanatics Live quite a bit with instant rips. And then Java, I send a bunch of packs down to North Carolina that he sells in his store. And then you got Skya over in Idaho that he does my TCG player and my eBay, but mostly MetaZoo stuff. And then I'm podcast partners, co-host partner with Old School Pokemon, and then Pokenomics, Jake. We run a Patreon. So right here I'm live answering for free all your questions. If you enjoy this, I'm live every week for the foreseeable future. Every other week, I'm live on PokeFlips with Old School Pokemon. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. If you want to be here every week when I go live, I answer all your questions for free. $10 a month. I have a Patreon with Jake, my partner, Pokenomics. We go deeper tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. to noon. I'm in office hours. There might be 5 people there. There might be 25 people there, but I'm in office hours every hour, 1 hour, every week, 1 hour a week. So 4 hours a month, you're getting me access to me for $10 a month. And then once a month, you're getting a Zoom that's 2 hours or so. So you're getting me for 5 hours a month and Jake for 5 hours a month for $10 a month. So you can pay $0 here, or you can pay $2 an hour to have access to me in the Patreon, or you can pay $300 an hour and you can have a one-on-one consult, Zoom call, Discord call, whatever you want to do. So those are most of the things that I do. Not everything that I do, but most of them. I started with 1.2 mil and I'm almost back at 7 figures after 7 years. Yeah. When you sold all your original stuff for 20x, what stopped you from selling at 10x or 2x? Was it just that crazy PSA turnaround time of 2021-ish? Appreciate you poking fun, being a member for 16 months. So nothing. I sold all my original stuff at 2x and at 3x and at 4x, 5x, 6x, 8x, 10x, 20x, 50x. Depending on the card, like I've always been selling. Some of the more like famous ones, some of the ones that like stick in my brain more. I sold a complete 27 card PSA 9 Gold Star set for $13,000 in March of 2020. March of 2020, I sold a complete PSA 9 Gold Star set for $13,000. Multiple of those Gold Stars alone are worth more than 13 grand today. The Rayquaza, probably the Torchic, definitely the Charizard as well. I just sold the PSA 9 Pikachu. 2 months ago, I bought a PSA 9 Pikachu for 10 grand. I sold it for 20 grand recently on Fanatics, and it was paid. So that's worth more than the $13,000 that I sold the set for. But what did I do with that $13,000? I took that $13,000, I took a few more grand, and I bought a number 1 Pikachu Full Art Trophy card that in the next 18 months went up 5x, and I sold that for $100,000. So I'm constantly making trades. I'm constantly like leveling up things, and I'm constantly like selling what I value less than the market, buying what I value more than the market. I'm not right on everything. I don't time all the tops and bottoms perfectly, but I'm doing pretty well overall. I've got a high batting average. I'm on base a lot of RBIs, a lot of walks, a lot of we're playing baseball now. I'm not even a huge baseball guy, but I don't sell my assets because I get taxed at almost 50%. That's one of the topics that I kind of brought up. I borrow against my assets and I'm only paying less than 2%. I have a trust, and when I die, my assets sold equal no tax. Trust pays 0. At some point in the future, I'm going to optimize my finances more, and I consciously make the decision. I consciously make the decision that I know that I could be further ahead financially if I used a little bit of debt intelligently here and there. I just have an irrational hatred for debt, personal debt especially. It is what it is. Like, here's where I know like the Iced Coffee Hour. I love that podcast. I love that podcast with Graham and oh man, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Somebody help me in the live chat. But when you go buy a new mattress, do you take the 0% mattress thing for 5 years? Theoretically, buying the mattress on 0% for 5 years, investing the rest, like it's plus EV, and that's something that like Graham would tend to do. Me personally, I pay cash. It's done and it's over. I'm not going to micro optimize all those little things. And sure, 150 grand, a mortgage. You're going to cringe when you hear this. The mortgage was 3%. I got the mortgage in November of 2019. It was a 15-year mortgage at 3%. So hindsight, obviously. But I just irrationally hate debt. I know that about myself, and I will pay a premium to avoid personal debt where possible. When it makes sense. Just put my house up for sale after that pump. That's hilarious. Dan still got a little patch left up top. I don't believe the millions thing until it's gone. They say in Pokemon, there's an inverse correlation between your hairline and your bank account. Yes, no doubt that there are BROWT fans. Which consignment? I was talking about Voldemort. Someone keeps shilling my tag slabs too. Yes. I've anecdotally, I've heard other people mentioning that they have a hard time auctioning tag slabs because they go unpaid. Someone is coordinating, keeping up the floor, keeping appearances up on tag slabs. It's frustrating. It's annoying. I will not grade with tag again until I have the ability to make money and actually be able to auction something. You say invest into yourself with 5K. What would you do? Rip and ship, card shows, e-store, bulk, all the above, none of the above. All of the above. I would try everything. I would literally, as I have over the past 12 years, I would throw it all at the wall and see what sticks. See what you're good at. See what you enjoy. See what makes you money. Lean into the ones that are the holy trinity. If you are good and it makes you money and you enjoy it, that is the holy trinity. I'm having a good time. I think I'm pretty good at what I'm doing, and I'm being financially rewarded for it. I'm sitting pretty in all the things that I'm doing. Do I love every aspect of what I'm doing though? No, I don't necessarily love every aspect. There's always going to be certain tasks that you have to do that you don't love fully, but I maximize the things that make me the most money. I minimize the things that make me the least money, the most frustration, all that good stuff. And every day I'm optimizing further. No, see, Brad, you're, and he's intentionally doing this. Brad is the, if anyone watched Hey Arnold, I'm Arnold for this analogy. Arnold's way cooler than I am. I know that, but I'm Arnold and Brad is my Helga. He's my Helga Pataki. He says, he says, get out of my way, football head. And then he goes home to his shrine. He's got like, he's probably got like hair clippings he took off my pillow at a Collecticon. He's got this little shrine built in his closet of me. He's my #1 fan, but he's publicly, he has to be a hater to keep up appearances. But no, I didn't say don't do anything with 5K. I said, generally speaking, don't park 5K and wait for it to grow. Take 5K and churn it and grow it manually. You'll get a lot further ahead in most instances. Had I invested $5,000, I made that video before. Had I invested $5,000 back in 2014 in the right thing, it could be worth tons of money today, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hell, I mean, the right, absolute, perfect things, maybe $1 million. But having put all the sweat equity into everything, having flipped and flipped and flipped, millions now, millions. And the brand, the name, the relationships with the platforms, and all that good stuff. Bro has main character syndrome. So, okay. Most people are the hero of their own stories, and maybe I do. I will cede that I might be a little bit arrogant. I will cede that I might have a little bit of main character syndrome. But Brad, the weird thing is, I'm the main character in your book. Think about that one. I'm the main character in your book, Helga. That's where it gets weird. Everyone is their own main character, right? And the real answer, my real main characters, my wife and my kids. Before anything, always. But yeah, I had to go for the meme on that one. Brad's gonna hate that one. He's gonna rage quit the live stream. Nobody hates Dan more than me except Brad. Consigned today. Oh man. And Grimer gave the same answer. Research all, try all, and see what aligns with your goals, time, availability, strengths. Again, 12 years ago, this was not an option. You know what you can do? Like, some people ask me, Dan, can you replicate what you did? Yes, you can replicate it easier and quicker than what I did 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I couldn't go anywhere and go to not only is there a national convention every weekend, there are multiple national conventions every weekend with hundreds of tables. And some of them have a backlog to get into vend. I know that, blah, blah, blah. But like, you can vend whenever you want to. You can go consign at will and get 95% wherever you want to, any platform you want. You can create a Whatnot account and pay 0% fees for the first month and get an additional push to like, it is so low, the barrier to entry to any of these things. There are people starting YouTube channels today that will have 100,000 subscribers in a year just talking about Pokemon. Some will be doing Pokedrama. Some will be doing Pokemon investing. Some will just be reading off Pokebeach. Some will, like, it is crazy, the opportunity right now. Do all of it. Do all of it for a month or 2 or 6 months. See what's working, see what's not working. Lean more into the ones that are working. We're booming, guys. Like, what are we doing? BROWT has no doubt. We are booming. Just do anything. Do anything, please. Please. People scalp those tables, though. Scalp the tables. Maybe don't scalp the tables, but like, we are booming so hard that you can literally buy a table and sell a table for double the amount of money. We're booming so hard. I have a box of them somewhere. Where'd they go? We're booming so hard, you can buy a piece of plastic for your piece of plastic, and then some of them are worth $50 a piece. Like, I was buying slabs the other day, and somebody sent me like 5 different $1,000, $2,000 cards, and I was going through the graded cards, and I'm like, ooh, that one's two-tone looking. It was like a $50 graded card. I bought a $1,000 card at 85% or 90%, whatever it was, and I got a free $50 on top of it with the graded card. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Like, we're booming. Go try everything. You're going to park money and let it sit, and like, you're going to poke it and say, come on, do something. You do something. Like, but again, I'm getting fired up. I'm getting fired up. We're almost at the red lights. It all comes down to your goals. It all comes down to what you're doing. And it's a lot. If you come in and it's new to you, don't go spend 50 grand. Don't go max out your credit cards before you know what you're doing. Start slow, start manageable, start small, and make sure you like get a bearing on what's going on. Because some people will get destroyed. In the next 12 months, there are people that will double their net worth. In the next 12 months, there are people that will net profit $500,000, $1 million in this market. Net profit, not gross sales, net profit. I promise, I guarantee there are people that will net profit 50 grand a month in the coming 12 months. There also will be people that lose half their net worth. It happened 5 years ago. It will happen again. So be cautious. Keep 151 going. I needs my loose bundles to wipe out my student loans. Appreciate you, Celestial TCG, for the $4.99 super chat. I have, how many minutes backlogged are we? We are 23 minutes backlogged. And Celestial says, get out of my way. I'm going to the front of the line. We are going the Pokemon Go app model here. We are freemium, free to play. I will answer your question eventually. But if you super chat, you will jump the line. Yes, we are booming so hard that KFB is making more money than his parents combined. That is how hard we are booming. How many years ago was it, Cam? How many years ago was it that Cam was stocking shelves at a grocery store? A very replaceable job. He took the leap and he started working with James, and then he started working with PSA, and now he's working with KFG. We got KFB working with KFG up at Golden, down at Golden. I don't know if he's on site in New Jersey, or I think he might be remote mostly, but he's flying on private jets. What are we doing? We're booming, guys. We're booming. Too bad your bearishness caused you to lose that bet with Retro. Should have had this energy back then. What is the suitcase is right over there. So if I lose the bet with Retro, and I said this at the time, if I lose the bet with Retro, I'm going to man up. I'm going to pay out as I should. I'll pay out a $500 briefcase with my net worth being many, many 6 figures, if not more, higher for having lost the bet. Like, it's such a good bet because it's like if your team goes to the Super Bowl, betting 1,000 on the other team winning, because then it's like your team wins the Super Bowl or you win $1,000, right? That was kind of this bet. It's like if I win the bet, I win a couple $100. If I lose the bet, I win hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, it's such a silly bet, but that's what makes it fun too. What is the potential upside for Poncho 10s of 2026? I mean, the black labels are selling for $100,000. So the upside is, so the downside is minus 100%. The upside is plus 10,000%. 10,000%, put the actual numbers to it. Could they really 100x? What is a poncho? Most ponchos are like, think of it this way. Most ponchos are 2,000 pop. Let's say the $30,000 Mario Pikachu poncho is 2,000 pop. 30,000 times 2,000 is 60. 30 times 2 is 60. Don't forget your 6 zeros. So the market cap for Mario Pikachu in 10 only, not in 9, not counting the black label, not counting all the pristines, all the CGC Gem 10s. The market cap is $60 million. Is that too much? Is that not enough? Could that go in? There's a definite ceiling at some point. Could the market cap of Mario Pikachu in before somebody says, Dan, pump the brakes, I'm pumping the brakes, like I've been saying all day. Everyone getting too bearish. James, too much bearishness in his recent video. Earn, too much bearishness in his recent video. But, like, at some point, they can't 1000x again, right? Could the Mario Pikachu become a $30 million card? $30 million card? That makes the market cap $60 billion now. Theoretically, I mean, there's tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars of wealth in the world. So could a Pikachu wearing a Mario costume be worth $60 billion? I mean, if you would ask me 12 years ago, 15 years ago, could Bitcoin have a market cap of 2 trillion? I probably would have said there's some logical ceiling on Bitcoin of like 1,000 a coin or 10,000 a coin. So realistically, it's like I'm so bullish that I'm having a hard time guaranteeing that Mario Pikachu won't have a $60 billion market cap someday. I don't think it will. I wouldn't bet on it having that, but I don't think there's 1,000x left for Mario Pikachu. Is there a 10x left? Could they have a $600 million market cap? Could they 15x and have $1 billion market cap? I wouldn't bet on it. I'm not buying $30,000 Mario Pikachus. It's a cool card, but $30,000 is cool. What I can do in a year with $30,000 flipping in my business is cool. What $30,000 can do parked in my 401k, parked in my solo 401k, my IRA or Roth IRA, what that can do with a way higher level of certainty, in my opinion, is pretty damn cool too. So yeah, I'm not buying ponchos right now. I'll buy them at 85%, 90% and sell them. I'll buy them and flip them, all day long. If they're $1 million and that's the new price, and I'll buy them for 850 grand and I'll sell them for 900 grand, or I'll buy them for 900 grand and sell them for 950 grand. That's just the card that I'm not comfortable owning myself personally. I have a half art Mario Pikachu that was given to me as a gift back when it was like $25 in a PSA 10 or $30 in a PSA 10. That card's $10,000 now. That's insane to me, but I don't sell gifts. So I'm invested in them because I have a half art PSA 10. If you had 37K in primarily ancillary items, how would you move them to maximize value? Think collection boxes, loose packs, booster bundles, tins, etc. I would sell them to a streamer for 80 to 85%. Hit me up. I will give you an offer. Send me your collector list. Send me, like, it is a no obligation offer. Again, 12 years ago, the thought of somebody on YouTube telling you, hey, I would probably offer 80% on your $37,000 collection. You send it to me, you drive it to me, I give you cash, I give you a check, I give you PayPal, friends and family. Well, friends and family is too much for that. I give you ACH, I give you a wire, and then 80% and no selling, no fuss, cash in hand, you walk away, no risk to you. That's insane. Someone might give you 85%. If it's the right stuff, someone might give you 90%. We're booming. Like I would sell it probably in one go. I would put my time where it's more valuable. But everyone's different. Maybe it's worth it to you to break it down and sell it all individually. Maybe you directly consign it with DC or with Cam from Golden, or you directly consign it with Sealed Shiz Consignments. There's so many options. It's insane. Is there a packing/shipping standard if we consign through you, or does it not matter as long as the product is received undamaged? I take I don't have any near me, but I take 50 penny sleeved cards and I put them inside of a graded card sleeve. So yeah, I don't even have graded card sleeves near me, but they make graded card sleeves. I guess I have one that. Oh, here's my Mario Pikachu. I lost it. It was right on my desk. But yeah, I take like the bag that the card is in, the baggie here, that'll hold 50 penny sleeved cards. And I seal them up and I put them inside a yellow padded envelope. So I take 50 cards. I put them inside this padded envelope. I put them inside this padded envelope. I also put 1 or 2 of these like around the cards to make it more rigid, and then I send it to my vault. That's it. I'm gonna make a video at some point. I fear making a video and getting 100 people or 50 people in the same day reaching out to consign with me. I want to do it more sustainably. I only want to add a couple new people a week. Cam loves the buckets. I ship to Cam first. Ken likes me more. Cam the golden god. Yes. His rage knows no bounds. Oh, man. I'm investing in my wife. She was offered the pharmacy she ran for 15 years at a small fraction of its worth. Her boss passed and wife doesn't want to deal with it. Yeah, again, everyone's situation is so different. If I was in that theoretical position, again, it's like, should I sell my 50K in Pokemon investments? Maybe. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. If you elaborate by saying, oh, well, the reason I would sell it is because my wife has the opportunity to buy a $300,000 business for 50 grand because X, Y, and Z. Like, everyone's situation is so different. Like, people go on YouTube and they ask, like, should I buy this or this? Are you collecting? Are you investing? Are you speculating? What are you like? What are you doing? You should probably pay off your 30% credit card if you have one of those. Everyone's so different. So this is, I don't know how they're doing it, but many people internationally are consigning to me. They're sending directly to my Fanatics vault in Tigard, Oregon. Always need to think very carefully as I say that, because I used to say Tigard, Oregon, and I know some people are cringing when I say that. But see, someone was telling me it's Tigard. I always have to rethink that one. Tigard, Oregon. And they're not getting charged tariffs. Some people from Australia, some people from Canada, some people from the UK, some people from all over the place. I'm not an expert on how to ship things and blah, blah, blah. And some people are genuinely sending cards that are like pennies. Some people are sending cards that are worth almost nothing. So like no tariffs would be due anyways. But yeah, I'm not a Tigard. Oh my God, stop. So it's not Tigard. Tigard. Okay, there we go. I felt like I was saying it wrong. Yeah, I was saying it wrong both ways. Sorry. Sorry to all my Oregonians. We got there. We got there. Open up the floodgates, please. How much money can I make you lose before you cut me off from using CGC grading? I will submit 15,000 Mega Evolutions comments. So the way that it works, you have to send me the quantity of cards and you have to send me the tracking number. If you just send cards to the vault, they won't be graded like that. That is an intentional included step to prevent from something crazy like that happening. Cam, I sent 600 DBZ cards. I'm not banned yet. What about Korean? Do you hold any long term? I don't have any Korean, no. Is your 850 CGC the auction service for only TCG, or can you mix in sports? You can mix in anything that's standard 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch cardboard that CGC grades, yes. Oh, I missed this one. Shout out to Dan for blessing me with a chase on my first Insta rip. You love to see it. Shout out to Celestial TCG for these super chats. Appreciate you. Even though I didn't jump into the front of the line like I was supposed to. Epsi B90 says, noob question. So you buy stuff at a higher rates than your competitors, but doesn't that mean your profit margins are lower if you're giving out 95% at 2,000 plus, if I'm understanding that graph? Yeah, when I won't tell you my exact rates, I guess, but when you sell a, where is it? When you sell a $2,400 card, I make less than 1% of the total sales price. I'm not making like some crazy margin there. Within the 5% that I retain, Fanatics is keeping most of that. When you sell cards in here, I'm making like a couple percent-ish, but I'm making less than 1% above 2,400. My margins are very, very thin. To be fair, Fanatics is doing the heavy lifting, right? You're sending it to the Fanatics vault. They're scanning, they're titling, they're doing all that stuff. I'm facilitating. I'm putting a little bit of extra advertising on it. I'm paying you out. I'm absorbing the 1099 for you. And I'm giving you a rate that, again, you would need to sell millions through Fanatics directly to replicate the rates that I offer to you straight up if you sell one card or if you sell 1,000, right? When am I going to dunk? I think those days are past me. I've dunked in my life. Yeah, and again, if you press the button, it turned 100 into 103 every time you pressed it. You'd press it a million times, right? I make less than 1%, but here's the numbers. Like if someone sends a $100,000 card, that's $1,000. If someone sends a $10,000 card, that's $100. So it's like, am I not going to do the same thing I do? If I sell a $200 card, I might make 2%. If I sell a $200 card and make 2% on my consignment, I make $4. But it still scales. It still scales when I'm doing many, many hundreds of cards a week, thousands of cards a week, many weeks. Is it time to sell 151 Blooming Waters? There are some people for whom the answer is yes. There are some people for whom the answer is no. There are some people for whom the answer is break them down and sell them to a streamer, break them down and stream them yourself. Like that's a question I can't answer. Iced coffee hour with Graham and the better looking guy. All the tag fanboys in their Facebook group shilling auctions. Yeah, that's so gross for one, and that's so like embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to have graded with tag, and then I tried paper handing the cards away. I literally I couldn't get rid of them because some morons were bidding them up and then canceling and bidding and canceling and bidding. And yeah, that was such a frustrating process. The people trying to like make it better, like had I been able to just liquidate them, I might have been more prone to grid with them again. But they're like doing more damage than anything. It's frustrating. Where do you see Sword Shield booster boxes going in the current market in 4 to 5 years' time? Specifically, Brilliant, Chilling, Silver Tempest. Up. I see them going up. Every Eugene thinks they're an Arnold. Oh man. See, I specifically called out the fact that I'm not an Arnold. Like if I was anybody from Hey Arnold, who would I be? It wouldn't be Arnold. But for the analogy, if we bring Brad in, I am the Arnold to Brad being Helga. But no, I don't think so much of myself that I think I'm an Arnold. I would need to think on that. Let me know. Well, I think I was just called a Eugene by AP Sports Cards. But let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you're listening later, who am I from Hey Arnold? If you're you'd be Gerald for show. let me know in chat who I am. Brad's just here for the jokes. Hey, I'm just joking too. He says I take things so personally. He's taking things so personally. Oh yeah, also consigned with Golden. Is it harder or easier now for the average person just starting out to source cards to flip? Easier. Many people will coddle you and oh yes, it's so hard, it's so difficult. They'll soothe your worries, they'll soothe your concerns, and some of them are potentially like trying to stave off additional competition. But I think that's like defeatist mindset. I think that's not the way to think about it. I think by pretty much all metrics, stoop kid. Stoop kid's afraid to leave his stoop. I'm not afraid. I don't leave my stoop too frequently, but a few times a year I try to get off my stoop. I think everything is easier. And people would push back on this. I think everything is easier today than it was 12 years ago. Every aspect. Like every aspect is easier. Because yeah, I'm not going to elaborate on each individual thing. But we are booming. Sounding like Rudy when he was screaming at people to buy anything like a couple years ago. I'm going to start a YouTube channel in 4 to 5 years, I think. Mom, get the camera. Dan's going wild again. That's it. I'm finally going to start stalking the Target guy. Please don't stalk your local Target guy. What do you think of the new Roka sifter? Yeah, it's like under $1,000 and it comes out later this year. I got an email about it, and I don't have a Roka anymore. I used to have one, but Skya has one. And the first thing I did when I saw the email was I forwarded it to Skya and I said, like, get on this wait list. Having one, it like you could probably have one as a standalone, but having one to go with a Roka is like an obvious. Honestly, if I was someone with a Roka, I might have 2 or 3 sifters. I would need to look into it more, but yeah. Bullish on automation in the hobby. Stocking shelves and pumping gas, absolute moron, and yet somehow I'm here. God bless. If I'm making money and you aren't, you really may just be sleeping at the wheel. Yes. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Regardless if you're a reseller or a collector, enjoy these historic moments. Yes. $300 an hour. Who's paying that? People that are investing, speculating to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year, of whom there are many. People who are making 50, 100, 200, 250,000 plus dollars net profit a year, they are gladly paying that. I only recently raised my rates that high, but I have several booked at that price. It's not for everybody, but coming with the right questions, you can save significantly more than that. There are, and to be fair, again, it's free. Come here, it's free. You gotta put it all out in front of everybody here. You've got 186 people watching between the portrait and the landscape live stream here. But in an hour, the amount of value that I could provide to myself 12 years ago, with like a few quick things, I could prevent myself from having done the bad thing and not collected and remitted sales tax years before eBay did it. I went back and I paid penalties. I think Pokieni has a story about that too. He went back and he paid penalties. I did the same thing. That was before eBay did it. eBay collects and remits now, so you don't have to do that anymore if you're on eBay. But starting an S corporation, if I had the right accountant at the time, if I consulted with me, I would have saved myself over $10,000 in 2020 having been in an S corporation. But I was 1 year late doing it, and it cost me 5 figures. Not having spent $300 on a consult cost me 5 figures. At the time, nobody, there were no guys like me consulting for $300 an hour. So, yeah, it's there if you want it, and it's also there if you don't want it, but you don't have to engage. Knockout Card says, I pay my streamers a % of gross instead of per hour. Am I the dummy? No. So I've talked through this with my streamers, and there are bad incentives either way. If you pay them % of gross and you send them your product to sell, they could just choose to sell only the expensive things and never sell the cheap things. Why am I going to sell Knockout Card's dollar card when I make 1% of $1 when I can make 1% of $100 or whatever the number is? There's bad incentives either way. If they're hourly only, there's bad incentives for them to go slower or whatever, and they can like milk things out and still get the same rate even though you're getting less churn. There's so many angles on that, but at the end of the day, you need to have somebody that you trust, and you can get to the same number either way. So like I pay my guys on Fanatics X amount of dollars an hour. I could pay them the same amount of money. I would just have to do the math on what that % would be, right? It's kind of arbitrary. As long as you're making money and they're making money and everyone's happy, like, yeah, do what works. We back. Shout out to Zorner. Congrats on baby Zornita. New here. My collector app shows my PC over 108%, just over 7,000, mostly 151. I do have a ton of bulk too, not apt. As a smaller operation, where should I look to start selling? A lot of volume in the space goes to live streams ultimately. Either being the live streamer yourself or selling to a live streamer, you have the ability to achieve high percentages. high percentages, low burden, low difficulty, low risk to just offload. And shop it around a little bit. If you have it all in collector anyways, send me a collector link and I'll tell you like, oh, hey, that's not really for me, or oh, hey, I play 80%. And it's like, I don't do high pressure. I don't do 80%, but only till lunch today. And if you don't answer, then I walk away. I do like, hey, here's my offer. Here's the process. Send it here. Enclosed payment details. I pay you out. Zelle, friends and family, ACH, whatever. And it's like, if you want to do it, great. And if you don't, like, that's fine too. That's why I have the hot buy list. I have the hot buy list every Monday. I kind of tell you the general percentage and the general items that I'm targeting. Like here's my current hot buy list. If you have these packs, I'm paying above 80%, 90% on some of them. If you have SV1 to SV5 booster cases, I'm paying 85%. If you have Sword Shield booster cases, I'm paying 85%. If you have PSA 9 and 10 slabs, if you have collection boxes, I'm paying 80%. Every Monday I update that to give people an idea on what I'm buying at what rates. And by the time you sell yourself on eBay, you answer all the messages, you take pictures, you take the risk and all that headache and all that stuff to what? Get 5% more, 10% more, maybe. It's pretty wild, the liquidity that we have today. Dan absolutely fuming at the thought of having a gift he can't sell. I said, it's funny. Where'd it go? I keep losing my Mario. I've periodically changed the number. It's like back when it was worth $50, I said, oh yeah, I don't sell gifts. But if it went to 1,000 one day, I'd probably have to sell it. And then one day it went to 1,000 and I was like, I'm not, I still don't sell gifts. Like if it went to 5,000 one day, I'd probably have to think about it. And then it went to 5,000. And it's like, if this goes to 100,000 one day, I might have to think about selling it. But realistically, if this goes to 100,000, everything else I have is probably doing pretty damn well, and I probably still don't sell it. As crazy as that sounds, I like Mario. I like Pikachu. It's a cool card, but it's lunacy as well. Currently comping out PSA 8 Japanese base set commons, and I'm anticipating getting 90% payout because I've done so much business with them in the past. Imagine this in 2020, you would have a stroke. Yes. With so little windows for investors to get positions in new sets, UPCs, booster boxes, what's the chances some of the S&D mega products reach higher values than top tier Sword and Shield? I don't really know. I have a bit of all of it. Yeah, I don't know. I have a little bit of all of it. I just truly don't know. Oh, man. Yes, this live stream will be posted as like a regular video that you can go back and watch anytime. That's how I'll have to remember it now. It's like the past tense of the animal. Tiggered. Do you think mystery product is immoral? I think lying, cheating, stealing is immoral. I think if you have a mystery pack that is lying about the contents, that is lying about the rates, yes, I think that is immoral. If you have something that is transparent and clear, if you have something like I don't think this is immoral. This is a mystery product. The core of the hobby is mystery. The core of the hobby is gambling. The core of the hobby is chance. So I have no qualms. I have no issues with Oh, did I do it again? Tigered. Oh God. Oh no, he's answering seriously. Yes, you take meme questions and you turn them into serious answers. But no, it's funny because like some people genuinely hate instant rips. They hate power packs. They hate knockout cards and repacks. I'm defending knockout cards and repacks right now. As long as they're not lying, cheating, stealing. I don't know. I don't believe they are. But yeah, it's wild to me. It is wild to me that people can take offense. Oh, hey, go tap into PK Stream, Ponga Stream, click a button, buy something that might get between $50 and $1,000, and it's like you get what you get, and all the odds are there, and all the it's like it's wild that people can be against that, but so many people are. It's crazy. CGC is tougher on grading now, question mark. I don't think so. To get products back to MSRP, do you feel the big box route they are trying can ever work, or better to flood distribution so LGSs get loaded up? I don't know. I think some combination of both, which I think is what they're doing, but they seem heavier slant on MSRP. It just gets botted and then scalped to guys like me. So, yeah, I don't know. Where do you see Sword Shield booster boxes going in the current market in 4 to 5 years? Up. Second time I got that question. Same guy. Cash basis or accrual? There are people for whom accrual is best. There are people for whom cash basis is best. I'm accrual personally. Is that under 119 50% fee and $5, or just 15% fee or $5 minimum? So for already graded cards, there's a $5 surcharge for under 120. Do not send sub 120 cards to me that are already graded. Someday I might lower that a little bit. It doesn't need to be quite as punitive as it is. But CGC Fanatics, there's no surcharge like that. So sub 120, there is a $3 minimum fee, just like when you're selling directly with CGC. But there's no punitive surcharge. If your card goes for hammer 15 or higher, total price 18 or higher, there's no minimum fee whatsoever. It's just the percentage. Hi, Dan. I have a bunch of sealed promos from Scarlet and Violet build and battle boxes. Would you open them to get them graded, or would you sell them sealed? Are they clear wrapped promos? Pre-grade them through the wrapping, and then only grade the gradable ones and sell off the ones that are not gradable. If they're not see-through wrapping, look at the 10 rate, look at the pristine rate, open a few of them, see if you got like a decent batch. If they all came from the same cases, they'll more likely be same quality. And then open a couple, see if they're gradable, open more. If they're not, don't open more, sell them. That's what I would do. Cam says the only thing harder IMO is there's just more competition, makes stuff become more optimized so quickly, so holes close faster. But beside that, everything is very easy. The holes exist, though. The holes exist. Like the amount of opportunities that are still here today. I understand the sentiment, but I think the rate at which the liquidity has scaled, the rate at which the activity has scaled, I think that is more than overcompensated by all the growth. So that would be my pushback on that. But that's probably the best argument against everything being easier today. And I think it's relatively weak. If you had $5,000 and no connections, what would you try first for a Pokemon business? Let's say you have a 4 to 5 hour a day available for that. I would it's free to start up an Instagram. It's free to get a Discord. It's free to start a YouTube channel. I would do some combination. I would probably do all three to some extent. I would chronicle whatever I was doing on Instagram, YouTube, potentially even I don't do Twitter. There's other things out there, TikTok, all that stuff. I would do some combination of all of those, if not all of them. And then I would vend a local show the first weekend, and I would reach out to Whatnot, and I would get up an account set up. The way it works, I think, I'm not positive, I think you get a month of free fees. So I wouldn't start day 0 with my month of free fees. I would go vend a couple shows first. I would go hit up some live streams. I would watch some low viewer live streams. You can do some sourcing on low viewer live streams. The people that are after their month and don't have the push anymore. So I would check all that out, and I would get primed up for my first month at low fees or 0 fees potentially on Whatnot. And then I would really hit that hard for a month and grind out all I can there. And then again, I would lean into what I enjoy and what I'm good at, and I would step out of the things that weren't working as well. Let's see. Do you think we see Pokemon go to the same thing as they did for the 25th anniversary? 4 cards per pack, ETBs with a mix of 30th packs and regular packs could allow for more overpacks to be released. I don't know. Yeah, they did it with Celebrations. Do we get Celebrations 2.0? It looks like we might. It looks like Crystal Lugia might be coming back. It looks like some of the tag teams, some of the other things might be coming back for a Celebrations-esque set. But I'm not a big spoiler guy. I'm not a big the sets that are coming out months from now. I'm Ascended Heroes is still the best set of all time to me until Perfect Order comes out. Forget what everyone is saying on PokeTube, how bad it is, might be MSRP. it is going to be the best set of all time, as every new set is, into eternity. It is good for business for every set to be the best set of all time. That is why it is a thing. Should everyone be an S corp, or is a disregarded LLC fine for most? No, for me, an S corp saves me over $10,000 a year. For many people, an S corp would cost them more than $1,000 a year and have no tangible benefit whatsoever. That is why nuance matters. That is why the situation matters. It always matters. Who said it? Was it Cam or was it Kai? I think it was Kai. Kai, personal finance is personal. There are no hard and fast rules. Like, I can't universally say cash basis is best for everyone. Most people that I've talked with, most people, their goals are best met by cash basis. Most people, sole proprietorship is enough. Most people, an LLC is more than you need, to be quite honest with you. But many people, an LLC is good. Many people, a sole proprietor saves them thousands of dollars, if not 10,000 plus a year. Some people should go Roth IRA. Some people should go traditional IRA. I'm going solo 401k with traditional IRA, non-deductible IRA, because I have the solo 401k through Catch 'em All Collectibles. It's different for everybody. And me, the same person with the same goals, the same aspirations, make me 15 years younger. Make me 20 years old in this boom. Make me a 20-year-old bachelor in this boom. I'm taking the employer match, but hell no, I'm not maxing out my entire 401k. I'm not maxing out my entire IRA. With my net worth being what it was at that time, sub 50k net worth, I'm rolling all, like, I'm taking the free money. Absolutely. At my employer, I'm putting in 1% and getting 4%, 5% for free. That's how it used to work for me. But my wife has a 403b at work. There's no match. If I was working a job with no 401k match in this boom and I wasn't yet full-time Pokemon, I would be putting zero into a 401k. I would be putting zero into an IRA. I would be rolling all of it. So, like, my same, like, it's always different. Same person, different state. Same person, different time. Same person, different marital status. Everything is different. Minor differences can change major things. Those are kind of major differences, but I think the point is made. Sir, should I trade a sealed Paldean Face booster bundle display for the PSA 10 151 Zard SIR? If you want to, just know that per the IRS, a sale is treated as a trade is treated as two simultaneous sales, and if your cash basis, it's a wash, no big deal, no taxable event there. If you're accrual basis, that's a taxable event. So be mindful of the tax implications. Defending me, but doesn't know I lie, cheat, and steal. LOL, checkmate. I like that. Mystery is the core of the hobby. It is, yeah. All the randomness. It's funny because we have been reading. My kids have a million different books, but what they'll do is for a week, they'll just hammer the same book. We're reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar all week. We're reading the Winnie the Pooh book where he eats all rabbits' honey and then he gets stuck in the hole and then Christopher Robin has to come and it's a whole ordeal. We read the same books over and over and over for like a week straight, and then we pivot to a different one and a different one, and a lot of Junie B. Jones lately. Hey chat, where else is Dan streaming on? Please and thank you. I personally am live on YouTube every week, moving ahead. My guys, PK and Ponga and Bierski, are live over on Fanatics every day, every night. My guys, Bierski again, and then Grimer and Spat are live every night over on eBay. Soon, Ponga will be live many, many days over on eBay as well. And soon, maybe more people will be engaging with Pokemon from a full-time stance. So we'll see what happens. Do you recommend NBA Diamond certification for Ultimate Grails? For example, Rockets Mewtwo First Edition PSA 10. Do the math on it. I don't even know what it costs, but do I think it is potentially advantageous? Do I think it's potentially plus EV? Yes, absolutely. So people don't love it. Oh, it's grading the grade, blah, blah, blah. One, Grading alone is ridiculous and stupid and crazy, and the market's lost their minds on the third-party valuations on grading. So like grading the grade, it's not surprising that that's going to be advantageous in plus EV, and because the market's lost its mind. Look at Big Brother coins. Coins have been around for thousands of years. Graded coins have been around for decades longer than graded cards. And CAC is a thing. CAC is the MBA equivalent of coins, and they fetch premiums. So yeah, absolutely. If you have one of the top percentile examples, and go get that bad boy stickered up and take your nice premium. What are you buying to hold for the 100th anniversary? S&P 500. There is nothing in Pokemon. And again, I know it's a meme question, but there is nothing that I'm buying in Pokemon to hold for 50 years. I will have sold, I might have a couple vaulted cards left by then. Hopefully I'm still around then. But I don't really plan on having much of this interaction. It will all be digitized. It will all be in vaults. Will I have pallets of sealed? And will I have all these packs and lugging all these things? Probably not. Probably not. Will anyone? Will physical booster packs even be a thing? Maybe not. But yeah, the longest time horizon I have on anything is my pallets, and that's like 5 to 10 years, and then reevaluate. Take it 5 to 10 years at a time, and then reevaluate. I'm only 5 minutes behind chat right now. Once I catch up to chat, I'm going to end the live stream. No bedtime, no curfew. If you have questions, I charge $300 an hour for consults. You can get the same answers here. A lot of times people feel more free to add context and all that. You can get more personalized answers in a consult call, but there's no paywall. Right here, right now. I'm live tomorrow morning in Discord private office hours. 1 hour everyone gets this, paying $10 a month tomorrow. But you're getting it for free right here, right now. So ask your questions away, and I will answer for free. Just started investing, collecting sealed Pokemon. My intention is to invest $300 per month for 10 years and see where it takes me. Sold my sports cards to reduce cost basis. Thoughts? I think you'll make money, but one thing, the first thought I have is that I am scared that you might be paying sales tax on items intended for resale. So that is my thought is I'm having the question come to mind of, are you paying sales taxes on items intended for resale? Are you set up as a business? Because you are operating as one, and you should be set up as a business, and you should be getting the benefits of being said business. You can't write off the losses to offset your 1099 income or your W-2 income or anything like that, but you can compound those losses over time, and then you can use them to offset future gains. Like basically, if you so we have the math right here: $300 a month for 10 years. That's $3,600 a year for 10 years. That's $36,000 will be your cost basis. If during that 10 years you also have, maybe you're a Patreon member to Catch 'em All Collectibles Incorporated, because he and Jake of Pokenomics provide good insight into the business space of Pokemon, and you can add that. You can add the $10 a month, $120 a year for 10 years, $1,200. You can add the $1,200. You can add some amount of your inventory storage space. You can add some amount of, are you buying things on your phone on eBay? Are you sending emails? Are you doing Instagram DMs to arrange private deals? You can accumulate all those expenses and have them offset the sales down the line. You absolutely should be doing all that. Some people are telling me they're waiting on Ascended, or that it just came out, but now is the time for Ascended. I disagree largely. I am waiting on Ascended largely, but I'm interacting in a different way. I want packs. I don't care about ETBs. I don't care about bundles extensively. I want packs. And Prismatic, a year ago, I would have told you I'm waiting on Prismatic. A year ago, Prismatic was like, what, $12 a pack, $13 a pack? And I was able to buy it late summer, early fall for $6.75 a pack. Pretty glad I waited and got a 50% discount. I'm constantly selling them all the time on the live streams. So I'm constantly stocked with some amount, but I'm stocked deeper. Now that Prismatic went below where I was buying it, below 7, below 8, I bought thousands more when they became cheaper. If they become even cheaper, I'll buy even thousands more. I'll buy 10,000 more. I'll buy 20,000 more. just like I did with Crown, just like I did with 151. But everyone's situation is different, as always. If I'm rotating my sealed on cash basis, are you aware of any action that increases audit risk? If you are just showing a loss year after year after year, that definitely increases audit risk. I literally just earlier today, I was down my CPA rabbit hole. Like, for every hour you spend down a PokeTube investing rabbit hole, listen to 10 minutes of a CPA. Listens to Not Your Dad's CPA. Listen to man, I can't remember any of the names, but there's a handful I listened to. And there was one woman who was talking about, like, these are the common mistakes that people make that get them audited, and these are the common things that people think get you audited, but they actually don't. And this is what an audit looks like. And this is, in the event of an audit, what you would actually have to provide for records and substantiation. Like, I'm not gonna play the game of telephone to try to relay that message to you. Go seek out those videos from actual registered accountants. It's better that way. And if this was a consult, I would go a little more. And what I would do is, on this screen, I would go find the YouTube video that I watched earlier, and I would link you to it. And I would get, like, that's how I do go a little bit deeper on certain things in consults and in office hours and whatever. But in YouTube, it's like, go watch the primary source. Go watch the actual accountant. Your employer was paying 4x to 5x your contribution. Where were you working? So this is, again, everyone is different. So my mom works at a company where if she puts in 12%, they put in 6. They put in half of what she puts in, up to 12%. So she puts in 12%. I have friends who they put in 100%, up to 10%. So they put in 10%, they get 10%. My company, if you put in 0, you obviously get nothing. If you put in 30%, if you max out your 401k, you get 1% match and you get profit sharing. So if you put in 1%, you get 1%. And you get profit sharing. If you put in 30%, you get 1% and profit sharing. So my company was great for low rate savers, and they were for high rate savers. My final year there, I was making 80K salary. I was saving I was saving 25-ish%, and they were matching only the 4%. But the first year I was there, my first year there, I put in 1%. I had the account open. It qualified me for the 100% match of 1%. And then profit sharing. Every year I was there, the profit sharing varied between like 2% and 5 or 6%. I think it averaged 4% while I was there. So yes, I put in 1% and they gave me 4 to 5% on average on top of it. Free 4 to 5x guaranteed return on your money. And you know what? I talked to my HR department. It was somewhere between 1 out of 5 and 1 out of 4 people that were not enrolled for the 401k. 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 people shunned putting in 1%. Like, if you make $100,000 a year, put in $1,000 a year and instantly 5x your money. Like, people were 25% of the company, 25% of the company was not doing that. That is lunacy. But again, like, I'm not going to tell everybody you have to put in 1% before anything else. Because my wife, 403B, highway robbery, they have 0 match. And they have a 5.5% sales load. If you put in $100, not only do they not match, they skim 5.5% off the top. You put in $100, only $94.50 hits the investment. It is shameful. It is embarrassing. It is disgusting. It should not be legal. Maybe it's not even the case anymore. 5 years ago, last time we talked with her people about that. Maybe the sales loads have gone away, but I'm going to Google it quickly. So, what percent of company retirement plan options have sales loads? Approximately 95% of 401ks are no load. So that means 5% of people have loaded options where, like, they put in $100 and not $100 hits the actual investment, which is insane. That's a very antiquated thing. What about 403B? 403B, what percent have sales loads? Approximately 70% of 403B products, particularly those offered to K-12 public school employees, include sales commissions or loads. That is disgusting. I don't know why that is. But anyways, my wife is the vice president of my company, and she has a solo 401k through my company. And we offer 25% match. So if she maxes out her 401k, if her reasonable salary is, say, $40,000 a year, she can get a 25% match. She gets a $10,000 bonus match on top of her maxing out her 401k. So yeah, but bullish on having the solo 401k over a should be criminal 403b. Oh, I was asking where else you were live because I didn't see the questions in the chat. You're asking up here above. Was thinking another platform along with YouTube. No, so I'm dual live on YouTube. I am live on mobile devices in portrait mode through StreamYard, and then in landscape mode, I guess, also on mobile devices, or if you're on desktop, if you're watching on your TV or whatever. But the way StreamYard works, I'm live in, I believe it's 16:9 format and 9:16 format. We're booming, so I'm scooping up all the various platforms, all the orientations. I do still have the Shining Gyarados PSA 9. I believe that's, yes. I don't know why I have it. I have it face down on my label printer. I don't know why, but yeah. If you were at a party with Dan sitting at the side of the pool and Swag Daddy and Jake Smith in the pool, where would you be? Which Collecticon? What, all the Collecticons merged together? My memory is so bad. Was that Orlando? I want to say that was Orlando. How exactly do you evaluate the pallets at the 5 to 10 year mark? Do you have standard checklist or questions? I made a video. I have a video series on my YouTube channel. Go to my channel and search pallet. I think I have pallet in the title of all of them. But it's going to be, what is my total net worth? What are my business dealings? What is the cash flow to my business like? What has changed in the Pokemon market? What are my returns thus far? Where else could I apply this capital if I were to liquidate? Do I need the capital? What are the prospects for 5 to 10 years from now? Should I just repalletize and stick it out into the future? These are all the questions that I'm going to ask myself. I don't have any firm plan on what I'm going to do. I'm likely going to sell some portion, but I very unlikely will sell all of them. Rockefeller Rothschild says, sold my cards, put it into silver and gold. Best decision. I don't know if that will be the best decision for forever, though. Definitely doing well over some. But silver, what has silver done? I mean, relative to a lot of things in Pokemon, you are significantly underperforming. Silver 1 year is up not even triple. Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up. God, I wish I worked at this company. Half match is wild. Yeah, again, like know your situation. It is wild to me that people just want these like one size fits all rules when that just can't really exist. I think, shout out to the money guys. The financial order of operations is great. I abide to some extent by the retirement wrapper on the personal finance subreddit on Reddit. There's their kind of financial order of operations for how one could or should allocate their funds, basically. But it's very different for everyone. A lot of nuance, a lot of gray area. Life exists in the gray area. EXP share video games. I watched that same lady's audit video last week. Yeah, I guess I can go to my YouTube history and I guess I can shout her out. Not somebody I subscribe to. It just came up in my algorithm. But history, I watch way too many videos, so I might have to scroll a bit. So Jasmine DeLucci, JDCPA-EA. I don't even know what all those acronyms mean, but she is a JDCPA-EA. I don't know what the JD or the EA are. Certified Public Accountant EA economic advisor. I don't know, but I'm gonna link this YouTube video that I watched earlier. It's called "What Actually Triggers an IRS Audit," told to you by a CPA. Like, add that to your watch later. Don't leave me now, but go watch that afterwards. I think it's wild the amount of time that people will put into Pokemon investing YouTube content, watching the same creators, myself included, talk about the same things, talk about Evolving Skies reprints, talk about Destined Rivals reprints, talk about this, talk about that, PSA, CGC, vintage, modern, pop reports. Is it supply? Is it demand? What matters most? Taxes matter to everyone. Taxes are universal for everyone, but they're uniquely different for everyone as well. So again, for every hour you spend listening to a PokeTuber, myself included, listen to or read up on taxes to some extent. Because one of the biggest gaps in a lot of people's situations when I do consults, one of the biggest gaps a lot of people have is just any idea of the tax code and how it can work for you. Making mistakes to the tune of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year at scale. Stevie TCG says, my company does 50% match to the max, free money. I would have loved to work at a company like that. I was only getting 4% on top of my max. In Australia, it's law that any employer has to put 12.5% on top of your gross salary into your retirement. It's forced and you can't touch it. That's like our Social Security. So FICA taxes are the employer does half and the employee does half. And that's Social Security, disability, SSDI, whatever. I'm not an expert on all that stuff, but to some extent that exists in the US as well. And then with my wife, like they have a terrible 403B, but they do have like a pension. Pensions aren't what they used to be, but public service pensions, like in upstate New York or in New York State, upstate doesn't matter. She's tier 6, I want to say. And it's still crazy, the fact that it's like guaranteed to some extent. Yo, it's Poke10s here. How rich are we right now? We are rich. We are booming. No BROWT about it. Appreciate you, Scott. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, so John A. Torres is on mobile. I see a little like vertical indicator next to your name. Most of the questions are coming in from our landscape viewers. So I'm getting ready to move to the woods when I go to my new house, and my Verizon 5G phone turns to LTE and struggles to load videos and no cable available. Any suggestions on internet services? I use T-Mobile home internet, and I have Verizon. I have Verizon for like my actual cell phone, but for whatever reason, Verizon doesn't have cell phone where I'm at, or Verizon doesn't have home internet where I'm at, and T-Mobile home internet has been solid. It's been solid. Cam texted me how to pronounce Tigard. I got it finally. Thank you, Cam, for the text. My wife also texted me to check on my daughter before I go to bed because she's going to bed now. But we're booming, so I'm staying up. After this live stream, I have some work to do too. Definitely not going to bed right away. Can we get a desk tour sometime? Definitely not right now. It's nearing tax time. It's past corporate tax time. I have W-2s and 1099s. My all my information is all out over the place. My office is cluttered and messy, and you get a very curated view that I will probably not stray from for some time. Money guys are solid. Do you think in the next 5 to 10 years there will be a serious competition to PSA or even someone to overtake them in terms of volume of graded cards? CGC is scaling like extensively. I know a lot of people in certain spaces are very anti-CGC and whatever, but like pristines earn a decent premium. I think and some people will hate this. PSA is too easy. PSA grading is a joke for many, many cards. Certain cards, older cards, low pop, I get it, hard to grade. Some cards, a 10 is a little bit of a chase. But for most cards in Pokemon, PSA 10 is a participation trophy. There's no chase. It's not exciting. Somehow, like, I think the market drastically overvalues PSA 10s on ultra modern high pop cards. It blows my mind. I love it because I make a bunch of money with it. But like pristines are a little bit of a chase. How replicable are they? And black label and blah blah blah. That's a different conversation. But absolutely, absolutely. I think CGC has already made pretty great strides towards catching up to them. I guess I don't know proportionally. Well, proportionally from 10 years ago, absolutely. CGC wasn't grading cards 10 years ago. So CGC has come from nothing to they grade like a quarter or 20% of what I forget what fraction of what PSA grades that they grade. They grade a few 100,000 a month, and PSA is let me see if I can find the month data. I never know how to navigate. GemRate shows yesterday right on their homepage, but over the past blog or reports, February. So in February, PSA graded 1.86, CGC graded 451,000. That's a lot. They're there. Beckett graded 88,000. I don't think it's gonna be tag. I don't really buy into the whole thing there. CGC is doing massive business. Live streams, they are all over the place. They definitely are seen a different way. But yeah, year over year, February 2026, PSA's grown 29% and CGC's grown 57%. So CGC is actively like tracking them down to some extent. But yeah, I think some people buying the label only and investing everything into PSA, they could potentially like have issues down the line, buying weak examples of 10s that aren't true 10s. And I think that all could come back to bite them. And most of these low pop 10s are just cards that got lucky. They're 9s that got lucky, 8s that got lucky. Most super low pop, double digit pop PSA 10s. I've graded some of them. I've seen a lot of them. I've graded single digit PSA 10 WotC first edition holos, PSA 10 single digit first edition unlimited holos years ago. There were 8s that just got lucky and got a 10. There were 9s that got lucky and got a 10. JD is Juris Doctorate, aka law degree. I've never heard that acronym. Tax law is easy until you want to start a business. Then you just have to know so many things. Tax law is easy conceptually. Tax law is a nightmare in practice. Yeah, that's why. Shout out to Pokey Lawyer PNW. That's why I have a tax attorney and I have a CPA and I paid somebody else to register my S corp. I can make a lot of money. I can do good business in Pokemon. I lean into where I have my expertise and where I can do good business, and then I lean on experts. I lean on competent experts in their respective fields where I'm outside of my my wheelhouse. Yeah, I've looked into and I've heard about all the lobbying that goes on for TurboTax to the politicians to prevent making it easy. But for most people, as far as I understand, you don't have to use TurboTax. I believe there's a website. I don't want to misstate the URL, but there's a government website where like most people's taxes are they're a 1099 int and they're a W-2 and maybe they have a couple kids. Like many people's things, they actually came out with a simplified, like a 1040 EZ, 1040-EZ, I believe it is. And many people can get by with a 1040 EZ. But business taxes are inherently more complicated than a two income household, no kids, 2 W-2s, a little mortgage interest, a little student loan interest. With the standard deductible as high as it is, mortgage interest and student loan interest don't even factor in most frequently. So yeah, many Americans can just do a 1040 EZ, wipe their hands of it, done, pay almost nothing. As far as I understand, I think you can file for free through some government website. I guess I'll just Google it since we're here. We're live. Government website, free file 1040 EZ. File at an IRS partner site with the IRS free file program. Why does it not say where they are? explore free guided tax software, browse all trusted partners. So Tax Act, Easy Tax Return, Tax Slayer, Free Tax USA, fileyourtaxes.com, 1040.com, onlinetaxes.com. Holy crap, 1040now.net. I didn't realize there were so many. So there's like 8 of them. It's AGI based. So you need to be below a certain AGI. If you're above a certain AGI, I guess you have to pay, which kind of weird. Like if you're only a W-2, who cares if you make $1 million a year or 100,000 a year? Like it's still pretty simple, but it is what it is. Our teacher pension in Minnesota is so bad, like worse than nothing bad. It's that bad here in New York for my wife as well. I don't know if that's across all of New York or if that's just where I'm at, but her former school, her current school, very, very bad options. No match, but her pension is pretty solid. What would stop this boom? If 30th anniversary set is a banger, I think we are out of the galaxy for the next decade. Next decade, that is that is bullish. There are wars being waged or being started or whatever's going on with that. Like anything can happen at any time. Bitcoin just dropped over 50%. At any time, the S&P could do the same. At any time, Pokemon could do the same. For little to no reason, or maybe there's good reason. Like there's so many things that I'm not going to pretend to guess. You need to know in speculative things such as this. There's a lot of volatility. Right now, it's all upside. It's all rocket emojis, baby. But things could go down too. And prepare for that to whatever extent makes you feel comfortable. And I'm comfortable with my situation, and everyone needs to know their own risks. But a lot of the people that guarantee things can't go down and do X, Y, Z, and that stuff's scary. They have no clue what they're talking about. Some of the people guaranteeing Destined won't go below 300 today or 400 or 500 or 200 or MSRP or whatever the number is. Some of the people guaranteeing that guaranteed 5 years ago that Vivid wouldn't go below 200. The same people making the same guarantees. Oh, it's different this time. And with Vivid, they said it was different this time when they said Roaring couldn't go below 200. And the further back you go, the less people there are, because not many people have been here the past 12 years. But yeah, it was happening all along. Who knows what's going to happen? I've heard of superannuation. I've looked into it a little bit. It's analogous to an extent to Social Security, but it's definitely not the same thing. But yes, I have had multiple consults with Australians. I have a handful of Australian friends for sure, and I'm vaguely familiar with it. I've not looked into it too much because it doesn't affect me personally. Don't live in the U.S. and in my country, we got a ton of cases of Ascended, exited some Destined Rivals booster box cases into 15 plus Ascended ETB cases at 680 a case average. Is it a win or did I overdo it? If you got into Ascended ETB cases at 680 a case, yes, it's a win. You got in at 70% of market or less. What are we talking about here? Anytime that you can get out of something at like 100% of market-ish and get into something else at 70% of market, if you're accrual, you need to watch out because you might actually be behind after paying taxes. But if you're cash basis, that's an easy, obvious win. That is like what I do all the time. I'm constantly buying at 80%, 85%, selling at 100, 105%, and then just iterating on that margin. Pokey Lawyer PNW is a BGS 10 guy. Yeah, I used to be a PSA 9 guy. I used to be a PSA 9 guy all the way, but I would specifically collect strong PSA 9s. I cracked and I crossed many PSA 9s into PSA 10s, into BGS 10s, into BGS 9.5s, into CGC 10 pristines on occasion. I would buy strong cards. I would focus a lot less on the label, but buy the card and the grade. Focus on the label to some extent, but to make yourself safer for the future, buy the card and the grade. If only basic finance was a mandatory high school credit, instead we watched Schoolhouse Rock so we could memorize the words of the preamble. How do you deal with sales taxes as an in-person vendor, especially since most vendors don't charge sales tax? So you need to look into physical nexus and economic nexus. Brian Pokiani has some videos on physical and economic nexus. There are CPAs out there with great videos on physical and economic nexus. I'm not the perfect guy to do it. I don't vend really. Part of the reason why I don't vend is because of the the issue of taxes. I just don't want to deal with it, frankly. And I sell a lot on live streams, and it's just not worth, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, if that makes sense. But most vendors, frankly, are just evading taxes illegally. Most vendors are improperly evading collecting and remitting sales taxes that they should legally be collecting and remitting. It's not a fun answer, but it is the answer. Teacher pension, if we retire before 62, 40 years of teaching, we lose at least 40% of our pension. Yeah, my wife's is the same. 62, it's something, and 67, it's more. Social Security is the same. 62, it's this, and 67, it's that, and 70, depending on your birth year, and XYZ. And my wife is unlikely to work the full, I think 30 years she gets fully vested. 10 years she gets something. 20 years she gets more. Every year between 20 and 30 she gets more. My wife's not likely to work the full 30 years, I don't think. And that's entirely fine. We plan our financial picture, primarily I plan our financial picture based off nothing for Social Security and nothing for her pension. If and when we get anything from her pension and from Social Security, it will essentially be entirely like found money. It will be entirely a bonus. Basic finance in high school is a waste. It's an elective in a lot of areas, and trying to teach people things that are not applicable for another decade does little. I disagree. I think there should be more basic finance in school, but yeah, everyone's going to have different opinions on that. Basic math. I think math is the most valuable reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic, history. I think arithmetic is the most valuable thing you learn in school. But yeah, everyone would have different opinions on that and different pushback. And I think to some extent you use it every day. And if you're not, you should be using it more than you are probably. A little late on the tag talk, had to do 2x catch up to the live stream, but I've always thought of it as tag, you're it, good luck. Yeah. And part of the reason why I'm anti-tag, not that I'm anti-tag, I just don't use them because Fanatics doesn't take them. So my main relationship is with Fanatics. I deal with eBay too, and I think eBay Authenticity Guarantee takes tag, but I'm not positive. But yeah, I can't send tag slabs to my main business partner in Fanatics, so like I just don't care for them. If they ever get added to Fanatics, then I might start to work with them a little bit more. But I've had one interaction with them. It was very poor. And I have no desire to go back at this current time. But I'm not writing them off forever either. Some of the anti-CGC crew, some of the anti-BGS, anti-tag, anti-PSA, like I don't care. They're all a means to an end. I'm not tribal. I'm not like devoted to one label. I think they're all frankly pretty bad at their jobs. Their job of like being a third party, consistent applier of a grade on their scale to a card, they're all terrible at their job. Even tag, they're all very bad at conditioning a card. But what they're good at is increasing the value of the card, PSA, BGS, and CGC specifically. So hell yeah, I do business with them because they make me more money. As a collector though, I have slabs that are already slabs, but like I'm not slabbing anything that I'm PCing like forever. They're all in binders because I don't need a third-party opinion. I know how to condition a card. I know how to do it better than they do, especially for like the things that I care about. They have a PSA scale. They have a tag scale. They have a BGS scale. They have a CGC scale. They care about different things. They weight different things differently than I do. I know me. I know what I care about. I have eyes. So I have ascended beyond the need for third-party verification, third-party authentication. I'm binder gang. Most Americans just don't want to take the time to learn a little bit of tax code. They need to file their taxes, so they pay TurboTax to do it. And that's fair. If you pay 50 or 80 or $100 that you don't have to, that you could maybe spend 30 minutes and sort it out, like it's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable. There are certain things that I spend $100 on in my day-to-day life that other people wouldn't spend $100 on, and it just is what it is. Some people, when they see numbers, that their eyes just go back into the back of their head, and they start to fall asleep. They start to drool or whatever on their keyboard, and some people just don't do well with numbers, and it's reasonable to go TurboTax or whatever for certain people. Thoughts on another L for geographical retail arbitrage? Is that with tariffs? I've successfully done retail arbitrage to some extent, geographical retail arbitrage to some extent. But tariffs make it harder for sure. Thoughts on meme fund buying up 25% of Van Gogh population? That actually concerns me. Something like that, doing a rug pull and causing a crash, seems more plausible than actual collectors selling. The gray felt hat in particular, I know of individuals with thousands, or at least I knew of individuals with thousands. I don't know how many they have anymore. But yes, individual businesses, individual entities that had thousands themselves of gray felt hats, thousands themselves of burger chews and cards like that. And it is what it is. Like I'm such a seller of that card. I have one above me for the memes. I should just sell it. Maybe when it goes to $10,000. If it goes to $10,000, I'll sell it. But relative to my net worth and my cash flow and all that stuff, like it's reasonable to have a $2,500 meme over my shoulder, which is just stupid. The second you have any exemption, dependence, write-off, etc., there's zero free filing options as far as I know, which I think is crazy to not have an option to file something lawfully required. Yeah, the lobbying and all that stuff. I wasn't aware of that. I think, though, I think with an AGI at a certain level, if you're getting a big refund every year and you make less than like 50 grand as a household, I'm pretty sure you can file free. But yeah, doesn't apply to me. I'm not positive. I'm in college and studying photometric stereoscopy and have lots of experience with it, and tag is not good. Their scanners are cheap and work poorly. I've made my very own cheap 1/X. Oh, it's just a camera on a 3D printer axis and some lights. Tag misses so many things. They miss obvious recolors, fair enough, and some very clear dents. Yeah, I'm not optimistic on tag's technology side. I think it's as consistently inconsistent as the humans are. Thoughts on the health of geographical retail arbitrage? I don't know if I understand the question. Thoughts on the health of geographical retail arbitrage? They're harder with all the tariffs in place. I just got to the bottom of chat. I think multiple people are live right now. I haven't done it in a long time, but I want to get to where I do it more frequently. So Jar Chomp ended 4 minutes ago. I knew he was live. Jar Chomp and Oyama, midweek Machamps, who had me on a while ago. So Retro is live with Earn and Johto Jake. I'm going to try and raid you guys into Earn, Johto Jake, and Retro. Let's see if they have it enabled and if I remember how to do it. If anyone has any very final questions, let me know. I can answer them, but I am on my way out. Your videos, I'm not in my YouTube backend, so that's going to be live. Oh, I can probably only raid. I'm going to raid with my horizontal live. Customization. Redirect. Other videos. Come on. Earn. We're raiding Earn. So when you go into the Earn Johto Jake Retrospecs live stream, don't spam them like crazy, but hit them with a couple. KAC sent me, Catch 'em All Collectibles sent me. Go say hi to Earn, Jake, and Nick over there. They're great guys, great podcast they've got going over there. I don't love going live like before they go live, but yeah, we're booming. I gotta go live every week. Wednesday is the best time for me, and there's gonna be overlap. We're booming. Everyone's live, so yeah, I appreciate you all watching as always. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well. So click that. When my live stream ends, you will be pushed over there anyways. I appreciate you all watching as always. I will catch you all later.